combine them into one perfect woman. Like a s'more you could take a shower with.
The following is a sports presentation of WGN America.
From Turner Field in Atlanta, it's a scorcher today as the Cubs and Braves will play Game 3 here on WGN Sports, and it's the rubber match. The Cubs and the wild card leading Braves. We welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Hi again, everyone. Hope your Sunday is going well. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. Cubs look for their 4th consecutive series victory, and they've been carried all year offensively by Starlin Castro. Bob, a chance if he gets to 200 hits to join some elite company in terms of 200 hit seasons before the age of 22.
Yeah, we're going to show you a list of players here, and one thing all these guys have in common is obviously they made it to the big leagues at a very early age, but the amazing thing for Starlin Castro is he's been able to maintain or even exceed the level of offense that he had in the minor leagues right here at the big league level. He's been a lot of fun to watch.
Braves get a boost today. Brian McCann, their catcher, back in the lineup, and hey, he gets to hit near Dan Uggla. That's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I'd like to tell you how to get Dan Uggla out, but so far in this series, the Cubs have been unable to do that. He has no holes in his swing right now. He is red hot.
And McCann will hit third right in front of Uggla, who has that 33-game hitting streak. Now the pitchers should be a good matchup. On paper it is Matt Garza and rookie right-hander Brandon Beachy.
Boy, for Matt Garza, had one of the best fastballs of the year his last time out. Unfortunately, got beat with a couple of sliders that he hung in the middle of the zone. Brandon Beachy, a really good story. This guy was a third baseman, an occasional relief pitcher in the minor leagues, an emergency starter, and here he is pitching in the big leagues.
Yeah, an undrafted free agent at that. So Garza for the Cubs, Beachy for the Braves, and we can't forget what Darwin Barney did last night. Castro had 4 hits, so did Barney. It's a rubber game. Cubs and Braves next.
Barney, Jack, their love of suits is like no other.
Why are you wearing a tux?
It's after 6. What am I, a farmer?
And their ego suits them well, which is exactly why we're putting them back to back.
That's not a bad idea.
30 Rock alongside How I Met Your Mother. Weeknights, 8 East, 5 West. Starting September 19th on WGN America.
When you're looking for a twist, crack open a Bud Light line. It's a fraction of the whole, but it's hard to control. The great taste of Bud Light with a twist. Bud Light Lime. All the refreshment of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor. Bud Light Lime. It's Bud Light with a twist.
Right now, we have one coming up, so that's a good review.
Pizza Tracker lets you track your order at every stage on Domino's.com, and it lets you leave a review instantly.
Tracker gives accountability. It lets you know if Jess is making your pizza, I'm Jess, and I'm making your pizza.
So get our $5.99 deal and give us your review.
What if more people saw the reviews?
If more people in the store, or... Whoa! Are you kidding me? That is insane.
Our reviews are up in Times Square, so order now and tell us how we did.
I think that raises the bar just a little bit higher.
You do look good. Well, if you insist. How can I say no to you? You know my weakness real good. You're so sweet. You're so salty. Irresistible.
Giving in to snacks? There's a better way to satisfy your cravings twice a day with Special K. Enjoy something sweet and something salty and still stay on track. So go ahead and embrace snacking with Special K.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Bud Light Lime. The just right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Ford, the newest vehicles on the road are now at your local Ford store, like the all-new Ford Explorer, SUV, 100% reinvented. Visit localfordstores.com. Ford, drive one. And by the Illinois Lottery. Play the Wheel of Fortune instant game from the Illinois Lottery for a chance at $250,000. Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Quickly, the Cubs Pepsi lineup brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Key 2 guys at the top. They combined for 8 hits to set the table last night as the Cubs were able to beat the Braves 8-4 to even up this series. Starlin Castro's ready to go against right-hander Brandon Beachy. We are underway. Beachy, 24 years old, 6'3", 215 pounds, from Kokomo, Indiana. Way down in Kokomo.
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you.
When I think of Aruba and Jamaica, I think of Kokomo, Indiana.
He's been a big-time strikeout pitcher everywhere he's pitched in the Braves organization. I should correct myself. He was a third baseman relief pitcher when he signed with the Braves. Pitched in relief throughout his minor league career until he had to step in an emergency situation, and been a starting pitcher and a good one ever since.
A nice find for the Braves, undrafted out of Indiana Wesleyan in 2008. And facing the Cubs for the first time, 2-1 on Castro, who tied his career high with 4 hits last night. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. 88 degrees as we get started here in Atlanta, which is actually cooler than the game time temperatures for the 2 night games to start the series. It was 91 last night.
And Beachy has the usual assortment of pitches, a fastball in the low 90s that he likes to work across the top of the zone, reported to have real good late life. Has a curveball, a slider, and a straight changeup, trying to tighten up that slider, make it more like a cut fastball.
He led the minors in 2010 with a 1.73 ERA. Another 2-2 on the way, and another foul. Pretty healthy lead at the moment in terms of hits. Michael Bourne leading off for the Braves today. He is currently in third, 14 hits behind Castro.
And one thing all those guys on the list had in common, with the possible exception of Joey Votto, good speed. If you're going to rack up those kinds of hit totals, you're going to need some infield hits over the course of the season, and Starlin Castro has had his share of those. Occasionally will get fooled, get out in front of a pitch, put it in play, and be leaning out of the batter's box as he makes contact, able to leg out some of those infield hits.
Good battle here, and another 2-2, and Beachy gets him on the high fastball for the first out.
Well, Beachy didn't need him on that particular at bat, but let's take a look at his defense anyway. Jose Constanza moves from right to left today to make room for Jason Hayward in right field. Michael Bourne still in center. Martin Prado moves from left to third. Chipper Jones with a day off. Alex Gonzalez, Dan Uggla up the middle of the field. Freddie Freeman at first, and the Braves very glad to have their all-star receiver Brian McCann back in the lineup. 2 rehab outings at AAA, went a total of 2 for 6 with a homer.
The home run was last night. As Barney takes a strike, Castro and Barney last night in terms of 1-2 hitters in the Cubs lineup, having 4 hits apiece in the same game. That's the first time the Cubs had done that since Tom Goodwin had 5 And Mark Grudzielanek had 4 back in 2003 in a game here in Atlanta. And prior to that, Cubs first base coach Bob Dernier and Ryne Sandberg did it back in 1984 in a game at Los Angeles. Thanks to Ed Hardig for that information. That's setting the table. 2-2. You can email us. Keep in touch. LennonBob@Tribune.com. Also Facebook and Twitter. We are open for business even on a Sunday. And there's a base hit in the left for Darwin Barney.
A slow motion base hit that time. Barney looked like he got jammed just a little bit. Alex Gonzalez with great range at shortstop. Looked like he was going to get to it initially, but it sneaks through into left field for the first Cubs hit of the game.
Barney went into action last night, 2 for his previous 20. And he has gone 5 for 6 over these 2 games. Ramirez gets a hold of one, and Michael Bourne will get it out in right center. Two down in the inning for Carlos Pena at the game-winning 2-run double in the 5th inning last night. Cubs did not trail after that hit. Talking about Brian McCann coming back, a busy day of roster moves for the Braves. They have also activated right-handed reliever Scott Linebrink from the DL. He had been out with a lower back strain. Right-hander Anthony Varvaro was optioned to AAA. And they also put starting pitcher Tommy Hanson on the DL with the right shoulder tendonitis that's been bothering him for a bit. And that's retroactive to August 7th, which is last Sunday. So he would be eligible to return, I think, it'll be a week from Monday at Wrigley Field if he's ready to go.
And when you talk about Brian McCann for the Braves behind the plate, certainly the first thing that pops to mind is the fact that he is an offensive force, hitting well over 300 this year, 18 homers, over 50 runs driven in, but a very steadying influence on this pitching staff.
It's way too early in his career to start talking about these sorts of things, but he's been an all-star 6 consecutive years. All of a sudden you start to get on that Hall of Fame track. One of the criteria, I think, for a Hall of Fame player is being an elite player at your position in your league over a long period of time, and Brian McCann's starting to pile up a nice resume. Now go do it for another 12, 13 years, Brian, and you're in. Good play there on that ball that bounced out in front of home plate, 3-1.
Yeah, this is not an easy block. That ball hits well out in front of home plate. You really end up playing that one like an infielder on a long hop.
Just bring this on you and expect you to answer it this moment, but Mike Piazza, Hall of Famer. It's an interesting case because he was always known as a subpar defender, but when you look at the offensive numbers he put up as a catcher, that has Hall of Fame written all over.
Oh, yeah, crazy offensive numbers, but a real liability defensively behind the plate.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out to end the inning. A hit, no runs, and the Braves are coming up.
0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Tommy, T-H-O.
CC, glad you made it.
Ricky wins again.
Oh, what is this place?
Iowa. Only with maximum Pepsi taste and 0 calories.
Whoa.
I love it when he does that.
Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
At Dairy Queen, we don't stop at good enough. We didn't just stop at soft serve. We made the one-of-a-kind Blizzard. And we don't just make a cookie one. We make a Nutter Butter cookie one. We don't just have heart-shaped balloons. We have heart-shaped balloons tied to sharks. And this isn't just chest hair. This is chest hair that spells out what I say. Because at Dairy Queen, good isn't good enough. The new Nutter Butter Blizzard. Real Nutter Butter cookie pieces and peanut butter cream filling. So good, it's ridiculous.
When you're responsible for this much of the team, you need a car you can count on.
Now the Braves starting lineup written out by Freddie Gonzalez. Bourne, Prado, and McCann at the top. Ugla with a 33-gamer. Freeman, Hayward with his first action in the series. Gonzalez the shortstop. Constanza, as Bob said, moving from right to left today. And Beachy the pitcher.
Check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind Matt Garza. Brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Soriano, Bird, and Colvin once again across the outfield today. Ramirez and Castro on the left side. Darwin Barney with 5 hits in his last 6 at-bats, getting him back up over the 290 mark. Made some really good defensive plays in this series as well. Carlos Pena over at first base. Giovanni Soto will be doing the catching today for right-hander Matt Garza. Matt Garza's had some stretches this season where he's had a real good curveball. At other times, his changeup has been a very effective pitch for him, but most recently that mid to upper 90s explosive fastball has been really good for the Cubs right-hander.
Iowa State product Eric Cooper will handle the plate. Mark Carlson, Tim Timmons, and the crew chief Jeff Kellogg.
I told you a little while ago, Len, that if Eric Cooper stays true to form, could be a really good day for Matt Garza. Matt likes to work the fastball up, everything else down. Cooper has always had a very big vertical strike zone. Doesn't usually go off the corners too much, but he will go high and low.
Here's Bourne, the center fielder. 1 out of 8 so far in the series.
As a matter of fact, there was a manager back in the early 2000s that said Eric Cooper had a strike zone as big as the world.
Wonder who that was.
Right before he got ejected.
Is he doing Cubs television these days?
Yes, he is.
1-1 pitch is outside. Garza really had his high four-seam fastball working early on in his last start against the Nationals. Gave up a couple of home runs and suffered a tough 3-1 loss. That was the game pitched by Chin-Ming Wong. Washington, as that ball is flared out into right center for a leadoff single. Hey fans, check out the new Cubs Kids Club presented by ComEd, the official kids club of the Chicago Cubs. Help your favorite young Cub fan earn his or her pinstripes as a member of the Cubs Kids Club, and they'll get kid-specific perks, experiences, and merchandise throughout the 2011 baseball season. Visit Cubs.com to sign up today. Now Martin Prado moving from left to third today. Chipper Jones getting the afternoon off, at least to start the contest. That's a nice weapon to have off your bench late, though. Switch hitting Chipper Jones. And the thing about him, as opposed to many switch hitters, and I would say most in Major League history, his righty-lefty splits are pretty close.
It wasn't that way early in his career. Early on, you always wanted to turn Chipper around to the right side if you had a chance, but he worked extremely hard on evening out the two sides of the plate to the point where now it's a pick your poison situation. 0 for 7 this season, however, as a pinch hitter for Freddie Gonzalez.
0-2 on Prado. Here's a pitch by Garza. Fastball just missed that inside corner. So as you said, Eric Cooper doesn't give you the corners maybe, but he might give him that high strike today as Garza faces the Braves for the first time in his career. Bourne not running, and there's a tapper back to the mound, and Garza wings it into center. A little bobble by Bird, but an error on Matt Garza. Well, that's been a problem for him all season long. Well, I don't know what happens, Bob, between the pitch and the throw, but we've seen it a lot from Matt Garza.
You know, some guys are very athletic after they release the ball. Other guys just can't seem to get a rhythm going. That ball is not close to anybody. Not quite sure if the Cubs would have been able to turn two even with a good throw, but you definitely get Michael Bourne at second base. Keep the double play intact with a good throw to second. You might have noticed Darwin Barney there trying to decoy Michael Bourne into believing that he had the baseball. Sometimes that sliding runner is not sure where the ball is, and Darwin tried to influence Michael Bourne there with a good acting job.
Brian McCann is back and hitting third. They still do have 3 catchers on their roster, at least for the next couple of days before Tommy Hansen's spot in the rotation comes up. J.C. Boscan as their third catcher. David Ross playing the backup once again.
We'll take another look at Darwin Barney on that errant throw, trying to decoy Michael Bourne in the back of the play right there. Unfortunately, Michael Bourne slid in with his back to home plate, his face toward center field, and saw the overthrow. But occasionally you'll get that runner that slides facing home plate with his back to the play, and he's not sure where the ball is. You can fool them.
McCann had a strained left oblique, and he was eligible to return Friday, so coming back just a couple of days over the minimum. Braves lost a game off their wild card lead with that loss last night. Still 5 up on the Giants, 6 ahead of St. Louis. Drilled foul.
I'll tell you, Len, this is our first look at Brian McCann this year. He looks to be in the best shape of his life. There were seasons in the past where he got a little chunky in the middle of the season, but not the case this year. He looks in tremendous physical shape. Listed at 6'3", 230 in the Braves media guide.
I see the wild card standings. Without the wild card, the Braves would basically be in the same spot as the Cubs because they're 8.5 out in their division. Garza would love a strikeout here, and he gets it as McCann chased a pitch in the dirt. And here comes Dan Uggla. Big hand for Dan Uggla. There has been no drama this weekend in terms of his hitting streak. His first at bat Friday night, he homered. He singled in his opening plate appearance last night. Now 33 games and counting. And according to Elias, the 15 home runs he's hit during this streak has tied the major league record for the most home runs during a hitting streak of any length. Joe DiMaggio, Willie McCovey, A-Rod with the various hitting streaks. DiMaggio's, of course, the record 56. All hit 15 home runs. McCovey did it during a 24-game stretch. Alex Rodriguez, 15 homers in a 23-game hitting streak. That's ridiculous.
Well, this will be an interesting matchup, Len. We know Matt Garza is very deliberate between pitches. After he gets his sign, he's very deliberate before he gets to his set position. And Dan Uggla is a nervous hitter in that batter's box. He has a rhythm going. He gets his feet going back and forth. He starts pumping that bat and getting ready for Garza to release the pitch. And on that first delivery, long delay.
And it's going to be Soriano to make the catch. Tag play is born. Wheels scores standing. So Uggla denied a hit on the broken bat blooper, and the Cubs are going to appeal at third base. To no avail. So it's 1-0 Braves.
Garza gets right in on the hands of Dan Uggla that time, breaks his bat. It's hard to believe that Michael Bourne even attempted to score on that shallow fly ball with Soriano charging hard. Unfortunately, Fonzie didn't gather himself and get into a good position to make the throw. He tried to throw on the run, and that gave Michael Bourne enough time to beat it to home plate for the first run of the game.
And it's Freddie Freeman with Prado still at first, 2 outs. This would be a pretty good escape job here for Garza to get out of it with only 1 run allowed if he can do it. Considering who he's had to face here after the first 2 guys got on.
Well, and if you're Matt Garza, you have to think, I have to stop the bleeding right here, given the fact that the offense has scored only 9 runs while Garza has been in the game in his last 8 starts. Over his last 8 starts, the most runs the offense has scored for him was 3 one time. So he knows he's on a very short leash out there as far as giving up runs if he expects to win a ball game.
Another thing to consider, while the mound height is the same as it is everywhere else, same distance from home plate, every ballpark, every mound is just a little bit different. So this is the first time he's ever pitched in this ballpark. Swing and a miss to make it 2-2.
Well, one thing we've learned about Freddie Freeman in this series, a deadly low ball hitter. Really has a quick bat on pitches from the middle of the thighs down below the knees. It looks like you can rush him up above the belt, especially on the inside part of the plate and further in, but be very careful on those pitches low and out over the plate.
Swing and a miss on the high fastball. They get 1 and lead 1-0 after an inning.
We've discovered the original sporting silt in our grandfather's attic.
All right, let her rip.
We knew we were on something. Just throw that thing over your back and you could just shoot down any hill. And you get the sky and you get the sun and the trees. Taking your product and making it a reality is really what it's all about. I'm Billy Smith, and I started my business with LegalZoom.
We created LegalZoom to help people start their business and launch their dreams. Go to LegalZoom.com today and make your business dream a reality. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Daycare can be expensive. So to save some money,
I found one that uses robots instead of real people, because robots work for free.
Good morning, female child.
Floss? Maybe.
There's an easier way to save. Get online. Go to geico.com. Get a quote. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I go wider than Strider. Go wilder, wild like a tiger. Catch still, my tricks are real ill. Fast like a cedar, move like a ninja. Chill till, no time to stand still. Check out my sound, I run with the realest deal. I spin the steel wheel.
Until the conversation turned, until the sun went down.
Bender on Futurama, starting September 19th on WGN America.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV is sponsored in part by Mega Millions and now Powerball from the Illinois Lottery. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is $24 million, while Wednesday's Powerball jackpot stands at $25 million.
Cubs center fielder Marlon Byrd, who grew up in the Atlanta area, Marietta. Tough night at the plate last night as he went 0 for 5, but his team won. Soriano and Colvin will also bat here in the second against Brandon Beachy. In most ballparks, our center field camera is slightly off to the right or left, usually to the right, but it's pretty centered here at Turner Field. You get a really good look at how pitches break.
A huge batter's eye in center field here at Turner Field, and we're able to position a camera right at the very top of that batter's eye. It doesn't interfere with the hitters and gives us a great view of that strike zone.
You see those other two camera positions normally where you get a look at the catcher from behind the mound. See, that pitch looks like it's literally rising, but it's not. It just doesn't dip as much as it gets near the plate.
Immune to gravity.
Payoff delivery right down the middle and hit foul out of play. Make sure you check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. I have a post about the game of baseball being that great escape. We have game notes from Stats. We recorded a new podcast with a special guest today, and it'll be ready to download tomorrow out into center, and that should get down. It will for a base hit.
Biggest fans of our podcast back in Chicago, Timmy Basamente had an opportunity to meet a nephew of his here in Atlanta, Bubba Basamente, also a big fan. Looked like Marlon got it off the end of the bat just a little bit, which is a good thing. If he squares that up, it probably carries an extra 25 or 30 feet, and Bourne would have an opportunity to make the catch, but as it is, it drops in front for a leadoff hit.
Yeah, we had some good information on our podcast about some of the Cubs' top prospects as we chat with our good friend Mick Gillespie, the radio voice of the Tennessee Smokies. Stopped by the ballpark here today. Alfonso Soriano with a 6-game hitting streak, 8 hits during this streak. There they are, the smiling podcasters. Bigger than life, bigger than Michael Bourne, at least on that shot. Lifted in the air out toward Jason Hayward. Bird's going to tag, but will ultimately have to hold.
not really sure how the wind affects play at field level here at Turner, but if you're to believe the flags up on top of the stadium, there should be a wind tunnel blowing out to right field today. It's been very calm here the first 2 games of this series, but a lot of wind blowing from left to right here today.
We'll see if Tyler Colvin can get one up into the jet stream. Low for ball 1. Talking to Tyler the other day, in terms of those numbers, kind of throw those out the window in terms of what he has to do toward the end of the year. There's nothing he can do, good changeup, to change what has happened to this point in the season. But I think we've seen some progress since he has returned from Iowa.
He's a little more selective at the plate. We haven't seen him chase as many bad pitches. He's much more still in that batter's box, keeps his hands back a lot better than he was early in the season. And hopefully that'll pay off with some good results for Tyler.
Fastball strike 1 and 2. Be the smallest crowd of the weekend, but it's not really small, only by comparison. And combined attendance of nearly 100,000 for the first 2 night games of this series. Sliders inside.
Well, the Atlanta fans have been fickle over the years. There have been times that they didn't even sell out the ballpark for the first round of the playoffs, the division series. They had a lot of empty seats here in the past when the Braves were in the playoffs.
Got him on a changeup for the second out. Well, honestly, I think they were spoiled just because they made the playoffs every single year.
Yeah, late arriving crowd. They'll show up for the World Series.
Yeah. Kind of understand that. Well, we won the division again.
Oh, hum. Hey, did you hear the Braves won the yeah.
The joke here, Bob, was they won so many consecutive division titles they were going to have to actually add on to the ballpark. Either that or make those pennants smaller.
Yeah, maybe shrink the pennants a little bit.
How about this? You add up all those division titles, and they did win the series in '95, but during that stretch the Florida Marlins won 2 World Series without winning a division, both times as the wild card winner.
And perhaps the Braves hoping for a similar result if they get in this year as the wild card candidate for the postseason.
They won the wild card last year, and final year Bobby Cox's managerial career. Soto up in the air to right center. And it's Hayward to make the grab to end the inning. Cubs waste a leadoff single. They trail 1-zip early.
We're in the mood for amazing seafood tonight.
Pan-seared just for us. Anybody? You know, sizzling shrimp and scallops.
Perfectly seared tilapia made to order. On an all-you-can-eat dinner buffet.
For around $10. Heads up.
Only Golden Corral would serve up endless made-to-order pan-seared seafood. It's incredible shrimp, tilapia, and scallops with your choice of amazing sauces. All on our endless dinner buffet, still for around $10.
$10? Bam!
Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness.
As your love has evolved, so have your gifts. From I like you, I really like you. I love you. I will always love you. And sometimes a gift says you mean more to me than anything else in the world. Life insurance from New York Life ensures your loved ones will always be taken care of. With 166 years of financial strength, it's the most selfless gift you can give. New York Life, the company you keep.
It's a fact. Your nutritional needs can go up when you're on the road to recovery. Proper nutrition can help you get back on your feet. 3 out of 4 doctors recommend the Ensure brand for extra nutrition. Ensure Clinical Strength has Revigor and 13 grams of protein to protect, preserve, and promote muscle health. And immune balance to help support your immune system. Ensure Clinical Strength, helping you to bounce back. Ensure Nutrition in Charge.
Cowhide dries out. So does your man hide. Regular Men's body wash can dry out your skin. Only Dove Men Plus Care has micro moisture to fight skin dryness, so that man hide of yours stays clean and moisturized. Be comfortable in your own skin.
Watch the MDA Labor Day Telethon, Sunday, September 4th.
Hey, Cubs fans, if you want to manage a game along with Mike Quaddy, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Hey, Mark O'Neill, the Cubs head athletic trainer, wants to wish his lovely wife Stephanie a happy birthday. Bob, he said this is the 13th consecutive season during which Mark has been on the road for his wife's birthday. He said, I will make it up to you on the off day after the trip.
We've talked about it many times. No birthdays, no anniversaries, no holidays during baseball season. You have to make up for that after the year's over. I'm sure Mark will do a good job of making up for it, Stephanie. Something really big and shiny and sparkly.
Also, a very happy birthday wish goes out to Julie Stanton, watching in Williamsburg, Virginia. That's from your son, Doug. Here's Jason Hayward. He's had a very difficult sophomore campaign after finishing second in the Rookie of the Year balloting to Buster Posey last year. He recently turned just 22 years old. Kind of interesting, Posey played against Hayward when they were high schoolers in Georgia. And they finished 1-2 in the Rookie of the Year last year. And of course, Posey's season ended in late May with that brutal ankle injury in San Francisco. One pitch on the way. High fly to right. Tyler Colvin, one away.
I'm sure the Braves would like to see better numbers for Jason Hayward in his sophomore season, but I don't think anybody in the organization is overly concerned at this point. This kid has just hit everywhere he's been. Had some physical issues earlier in the season, came under some criticism by his third baseman Chipper Jones for not being willing to go out there and play hurt, which seems ironic since Chipper spends an awful lot of time on the bench with day-to-day injuries. Jason Hayward's going to be just fine. And with the addition of Freddie Freeman to this offense and all the returning players that the Braves had, this figures to be a really good offensive ball club for years to come.
Fouled back by Alex Gonzalez. Major leaguer and his bat.
Oh, man.
How about a guy with a 33-game hitting streak and his bat? Do you have any bizarre rituals in terms of taping your bat? Or
yeah, there was for a short period of time in my career when I used to take the athletic tape and turn it around with the adhesive side sticking out. Now it's kind of tricky to get it on the bat initially and start it, but I would wrap the tape backwards with the adhesive side out because I didn't use batting gloves, and I felt that gave me a real good grip on the bat. That didn't last too long. You know, you throw up a couple of offers and it's time to try something else.
Almost got him on the hand. That one came to bite at 95 miles an hour.
That is a perfect purpose pitch. You push Gonzalez off the plate. You make him move his feet, hopefully opening up that outside part of the plate.
Rollover grounder, and Ramirez won't make a throw. It'll be an infield hit. It is for Gonzalez. The McDonald's Daily Double is back for just $1.89, but you don't have to remember it to love it. Prices and participation may vary for a limited time. A la carte only. Jose Constanza. And because of Matt Garza's fielding issues, making his 6th error of the year in the first inning, I think there's a good chance at some point Constanza is going to try to lay down a bunt.
He has shown bunt in just about every at bat of this series.
Perfectly placed. Past Ramirez, and all Castro could do is just knock it down.
We saw Tony Campana in a late game at bat for the Cubs last night do exactly this same thing. Had the third baseman drawn in, protecting against a bunt, and then just slapped the ball past him into left field for a base hit. Nice effort by Starlin Castro. Can't come up with it cleanly, but able to keep the ball on the infield.
15th major league game for Constanza, 8 infield hits. That's about a half an infield hit per game if you're scoring. Beachy bunts it foul. Didn't look all that comfortable doing it.
Well, he does have 4 sack bunts on the season, but as a hitter, only 1 for 28.
I would imagine these are not fun at bats for a catcher. That ball just nicked by Beachy. As a catcher, you're probably going to be a little bruised after a day like this. Whoa. No bunt that time. 0-2.
Tried to take advantage of the Cubs overshifted infield. Starlin Castro was nearly standing on second base as that ball was delivered. Pena and Ramirez were edging in from the corners. Darwin Barney was kind of holding his ground at second base, but a lot of holes defensively in the infield, expecting a bunt.
Called strike 3.
It's possible to be overpowered with a fastball in a sac bunt attempt. We saw it right there. 96 miles an hour right on the outside corner. Nothing Beachy could do about it.
Bourne 1 for 1 with the game's only run to this point. Curve for a strike. Sure, Michael Bourne gave some of his teammates a scouting report, having faced Garza earlier this year, and he rolls it up the middle. It's going to get through. Gonzalez coming around. Here's a throw going to third. They've got Constanza caught up, and the throw hits him. Ramirez's throw hit Constanza, and everybody's safe.
Starlin Castro dive for a ball in the hole when the reality was he had very little chance to make a play. This is a ball he has to dive for. If you can knock that ball down, keep it on the infield, that run does not score. Once it gets through into center field, there's no question the run was going to score. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary about the base runner right there. Ramirez just punked him right in the lower back with his throw towards second base.
RBI single for Bourne. Ramirez gets an error on the throw that hit the runner. That's 2 errors in 2 innings for the Cubs. Rob, is there anything in particular you need to do differently in a rundown with a really fast runner?
Not really. I mean, the idea, if you're the runner, is to constantly create distance between yourself and the baseball as quickly as possible. But defensively, the rules for a rundown are exactly the same. You want to get that runner committed, running hard one direction or the other before you give up the baseball. That will increase your chances of having a one-throw run down, get the guy running full speed, toss the ball to the other defender, apply the tag.
Yes, can't handle that ground ball. Man. 3-0. Well, the ball keeps finding Aramis here early on.
And he keeps looking befuddled, like he doesn't expect the ball to ever come his direction. His inability to make some routine plays has opened the door for some huge innings for the opposition in the second half of the season. Constantly on the ground, even on balls hit right at him.
Now Brian McCann calling that a base hit.
Wow.
Not sure I agree with that one. Garza's 0-1. Look out, the bat goes flying into the seats. And a Cub fan actually made the grab, and it looks as though everybody's okay.
She needs to stand up and snap it over her knee. Wow, that was very dangerous right there. I mean, that whistled over the head of Dan Uggla in the on-deck circle. Stands very close to the field of play. Fortunately, everybody looked like they protected themselves.
So the reaction of McCann, like he was very concerned, but again, it appears as though everybody's all right. You may recall in spring training, very scary incident as McCann had a screaming foul ball that struck Braves minor league manager Luis Salazar, the former Cub, hit him in the face, and it would ultimately cost Salazar his left eye. And Salazar told McCann early on in the hospital, don't worry, could have happened to anybody, but you can understand how that would rattle a guy.
We can't emphasize enough how important it is, if you're fortunate enough to get those seats that are down close to field level, or seats anywhere in the ballpark for that matter, keep your eye on the bats and balls. Happens every day. We see it on a daily basis.
Soto, not much room, but he has just enough to make the catch, and that'll end the inning. They get 4 hits. Cubs help them with an error, and they score 2 more to make it 3-0.
When you're looking for a twist, crack open a Bud Light Lime.
It's a fraction of the whole, but it's hard to control.
The great taste of Bud Light with a twist. Bud Light Lime. All the refreshment of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor. Bud Light Lime. It's Bud Light with a twist.
The American Garage. The temple of the tune-up. The Taj Mahal of overhaul. More of them count on AutoZone parts than ever before. But parts are just part of what we do. Our trusted advice and helping hands approach is everywhere. So, whether it's his place, her place, or the pro's place, parts are just part of what we do.
Get in the zone.
AutoZone.
Red light love makes my heart stop. Drives me so crazy. I can't even walk. I got a red light love. Open every day. Ain't no green light. Go away.
Introducing the 2012 Kia Sorento. More
features. More MPG, more fun.
Leap, and a net will appear. Who's a net? No, a net to catch you.
The 2011 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light. The sure sign of a good time. Here we go. That was an awful nice catch by Giovanni Soto to end that bottom half of the second inning. Number one, it's very close to that backstop. A lot of balls will skim the net as they come back down. You see he gets rid of the mask immediately, uses the glove to shade his eyes, looking right up into the sun. Makes a nice catch on a high pop foul behind home plate.
Matt Garza will lead off the Cubs third. Quickly 0-2. Late on a fastball for strike three. When you play the Wheel of Fortune instant game from the Illinois Lottery, you could win one of 5 top prizes of $250,000 or one of over 52,000 additional prizes ranging from $50,000 to $1,000 instantly. Nothing to Castro, struck out to begin the game. Borderline slider for a strike, 1-1.
And occasionally we'll talk about a pitcher that has a little extra hop on his fastball. Yeah, Beachy literally has a little hop in the middle of his delivery. As he lifts that front leg, right before he drives toward home plate, he kind of raises up on that back leg. Almost looks like he's trying to hop off of the rubber. Really pronounced out of the stretch. He pivots and picks up that left leg right there. He just kind of raises up on his upper body, straightens that back leg, and then pivots and drives toward home plate. Helps him stand a little extra tall on that rubber before he delivers.
Listed at 6'3", 215 pounds. Ground ball to Prado, hops the mitt, fires a strike to Freeman. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Here is today's Grand Slam giveaway contestant. All season long, if the Cubs or White Sox hit a Grand Slam in the 5th inning, one lucky viewer will win a chance to receive $5,000. Go to WGNAmerica.com to enter today.
See if Barney can keep the inning alive. Fastball right down the middle. Off to Houston after this one. Well, the Astros continue to struggle. They have really turned over their roster. You're going to hear some names that you're probably pretty unfamiliar with. Some young guys who've been called up since we last saw them. Michael Bourne traded here. Hunter Pence sent to the Phillies. They demoted a couple of everyday position players. And they go into action today at a major league worst 38-82. So even if they win every game to end the season, they'll still finish under 500. 31 games out of first place.
Oh yeah, they have been equal opportunity bad. 19-40 at home in Houston, 19-42 on the road.
Deep drive to left. Darwin Barney back near the wall, and it's going to be caught by Constanza. Barney just missed one. Would have been his second home run. As it is, 3-0 Braves in the third.
People everywhere are taking a stand and booking on choicehotels.com.
When I book a hotel online, it should be simple and easy.
We have the right to take the kids on a wonderful vacation.
As long as I save 20%.
I want to guarantee that my room rate is the lowest on the web.
The new vacation bedtime?
Don't push it.
Oh.
It's your voice, it's your choicehotels.com. Get the best internet rate guaranteed and save up to 20% every day. Book now at choicehotels.com.
Here's the great thing about love. Anything is possible when you're with the right person.
I can just look at her and instantly just makes me smile.
He's my best friend. I can't wait to marry him. I love everything about him.
Experience the difference of a site that really cares about helping you find a wonderful relationship. Visit eHarmony today and review your compatible matches free.
Charcoal went out already? Forget it. There's more barbecue time in every bag of Kingsford charcoal. Kingsford. Slow down and grill.
This is Lisa, who tries to stay ahead of her class. Morning starts with arthritis pain. That's 2 pills before the first bell. It's time for recess and more pills. Afternoon art starts and so does her knee pain. That's 2 more pills. Almost done, but hang on. Her doctor recommended Aleve because it can relieve pain all day with just 2 pills. This is Lisa, who switched to Aleve and fewer pills for a day free of pain. And get the all-day pain relief of Aleve and liquid gels.
Tracy on 30 Rock, starting September 19th on WGN America.
Time now for the Chevy Youth Baseball League at the game. Today we recognize Grossinger's City Autoplex Chevrolet for its support of United Leagues of Humboldt Park. Grossinger's City Autoplex Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers support leagues and young players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. Second chance here for Dan Uggla to extend his hitting streak to 34. He hit a sacrifice fly on a broken bat pop fly in the first inning. Curved for a strike. Uggla has faced Matt Garza in the past when he was with the Marlins and Garza was with the Tampa Bay Rays. These 2 teams match up 6 times a year. Uggla's 3 for 9. Now an 0-2 count.
And talking to Don Sutton, the fine announcer for the Atlanta Braves on the TV side right next door about Dan Uggla during this streak. He said more than anything else, he just doesn't miss breaking ball strikes. A real good fastball hitter, a quick bat, but when you roll a breaking ball up there in the middle of the plate, that's a pitch he just does not miss right now. There's Don Sutton,
the Hall of Famer.
I'm going to remind you of Aramis Ramirez when he gets into his hot streaks. Not only does he handle fastballs down in the zone, but if you throw breaking balls for strikes, he wears them out.
With the catch. So Uggla now in the series 5 for 7.
The new Bud Light Bleacher Series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights, and $1 Vienna Beef Hot Dog Wednesdays. Tuesday night special is also available in select locations in the seating bowl. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Good amount of Cub fans here this weekend. Freeman. Strike one. By the way, it will be Casey Coleman to come up and get the start on Wednesday in Carlos Zambrano's spot. Be his 10th start at this level. Everybody wears short sleeves on a hot day like this. Freeman and the guy on deck. Jason Hayward actually has a long sleeve on just one arm. In on the hands and fought off.
He just wants to keep the sun off his arms. It's a very hot day today. Really no need for under sleeves, but some guys just feel more comfortable. Good pitch for a guy that's a low ball hitter. You started at the bottom of the strike zone, a pitch that's very tantalizing to Freddie Freeman, and then break it even lower out of the zone. That time he was able to check his swing.
Garza's 2-2. We'll do it again. Good hop on the fastball today. That one clocked at 96.
Pitch count may be a factor in this game today. It is very warm right now. Humidity not so bad, but figures to get even warmer as the day goes on. Came prepared.
Stole Bruce Bochy's hat. Backdoor curve missed. 3-2. Is that Kevin Mench's?
I think Kevin mentioned Bruce Bochy could probably share a helmet. 8 1/4.
Swing and a miss. He got it. Struck out Freeman both times. 2 down.
Took a little off of that breaking ball. When you get a hitter in swing mode with 2 strikes, sometimes the best thing you can do, rather than try to add on, is to take a little bit more off than you normally do. That time he got Freeman out in front of a slider.
Well, Jason Hayward's major league debut was pretty spectacular. Against the Cubs, he homered off Carlos Zambrano in his first at bat. That ball still might be traveling. It was on opening day last year. 3-0 Braves.
Okay, people, show me the best way to design a vacation on a budget with Expedia. Make it work.
Booking a flight by itself is an uh-oh. See if we can stitch together a better deal. That's a hint, Antoine. Ooh, see what Anandra did? Booking your flight and hotel at the same time gets you prices hotels and airlines won't let Expedia show separately. Book it. Major wow factor. Where you book matters. Expedia.
Even in the most uncertain times, there are some things we know for sure. There will still be weddings, still be babies, and still be bright futures. That's why New York Life has been helping families plan for the expected and unexpected for 166 years. Backed by the highest ratings for financial strength, we're safe and secure, so you can be too. Give your family the gift of a secure financial future. New York Life, the company you keep.
Right now, we have one coming up, so that's a good review.
Pizza Tracker lets you track your order at every stage on Domino's.com, and it lets you leave a review instantly.
Tracker gives accountability. It lets you know if Jess is making your pizza, I'm Jess, and I'm making your pizza.
So get our $5.99 deal and give us your review.
What if more people saw the reviews?
If more people in the store, or... Whoa! Are you kidding me? That is insane.
Our reviews are up in Times Square, so order now and tell us how we did.
I think that raises the bar just a little bit higher.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Time now for the Cubs' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Lincoln. It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that. Feel smarter at Lincoln.com. 2 night games followed by a day game in Houston. We'll have the final 2 games of that series right here on WGN.
Ramos Ramirez bangs that one off the mask of the catcher McCann. 4th inning, 3-0 Atlanta. Cubs have not been good defensively today. They've committed 2 errors, probably could have been charged with a 3rd, and that is the reason 2 of the 3 runs Atlanta has have been unearned. Two strikes to Ramirez. Some rain on the East Coast. Rays and Yankees postponed. Same deal for the Nationals and Phillies. Those games were postponed early today. Minnesota and Cleveland being delayed currently in the 3rd inning. Indians 1, Twins nothing. The Giants finally hit a home run with a runner on base. Cody Ross today, a 2-run shot in the 3rd inning. Then in the 4th, Nate Scherholz, solo homer.
Start another streak.
In the 6th, Brandon Belt, solo homer. But they're supporting Ryan Vogel's song today, 4-1, Giants over the Marlins in the 7th.
And Brandon Belt recalled from the minor leagues last night as Andres Torres went on the disabled list. Giants just looking for any kind of offense they can find to go along with that outstanding pitching staff.
A roller in the left. Gary Zito with an ankle injury in a rehab outing.
Slider off the plate away, but Ramirez is able to reach out and hook it back through that left side of the infield, just past Alex Gonzalez. Once again, the Cubs with the leadoff man on base here. See if they can cash it in.
Also, Giants closer Brian Wilson unavailable today. He's got some back issues.
It's probably the weight of that beard on the front of his face, causing a lot of lower back strain.
3-2 to Carlos Pena. Knocked down by McCann. Ramirez almost got caught up in no man's land, but able to scamper back without a throw.
That starts with the first day of spring training for catchers, blocking balls in the dirt and then recovering to get on the ball quickly after you've blocked it. Nice job that time by McCann. Even though the ball got quite a distance away from him, he got to it quickly enough to hold Ramirez at first. Beachy does lead this Braves pitching staff with 9 wild pitches this season. If you're a base runner when he's on the mound, you should constantly be on your toes looking for that pitch in the dirt. And he has really gone to that straight changeup second time through the Cubs order here. Didn't see a lot of them the first time through, but really using it frequently here second time through the lineup.
Hey, great to see Ryan Dempster out before the game playing catch with a youngster. He and his family foundation has hit the road for the next couple of weeks to spread awareness of the little-known genetic disorder, 22q deletion syndrome. 22q for short. He's raised a lot of money for his foundation, and he hosted a group here at Turner Field before the game. Got an event coming up next Saturday at Palatine Hills Golf Course as well. And for more information, DempsterFamilyFoundation.org. And you held 3-2.
Like another off-speed offering from Beachy. This time a breaking ball just off of the inside corner.
Probably won't see Ramirez going with nobody out, a strikeout candidate, and the team trailing by 3. He's not running, and Pena cranks it to deep right center. Bourne will get it on the warning track for the out. Pena saw a lot of pitches in that at bat. Gave it a ride, but for a long out.
Yeah, looked good coming off the bat. Just didn't carry much out there to the right of straightaway center field. We thought perhaps the wind might push balls in that direction today, but it didn't seem to help that one at all.
The organist here in Atlanta breaks into Procol Harum. I think you're more of an expert on Procol Harum than I. mean, Whiter Shade of Pale is pretty much all I knew.
That's pretty much the extent of it. Yeah.
2-0 to Bird.
The Braves give Marlon Byrd a lot of territory in left center field. Michael Bourne shaded over several steps toward the gap in right center field. If Marlon could split that gap in left, be off to the races.
See Wrigley through the eyes of former Cub players in The all-new VIP Living Legend Tour. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity gives you the chance to hear the stories from the players who lived them firsthand. Join legendary former Cub player Steve Trout on Saturday, August 20th at 11:15 a.m. For more info or to purchase tickets, call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit Cubs.com. That's a strike. You know what? I'm embarrassed to say it wasn't Procol Harum. It was Freebird.
Yeah, that's what they've been playing for Marlin in this series.
I was trying to figure out why they were playing, and then it hit me that it was actually not even that band.
Now Leonard Skinner, that can drop a few of their hits.
Oh, sure.
Procol Harum can't help.
Same era as Bird singles into right. 2 on with 1 out. Time the Cubs have had 2 on against Beachy today.
Belt high fastball out over the plate. Marlin stays right on it, drives it to right field. You know, the Braves don't overshift nearly as much in the outfield as they did back in the day when they had Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz and Denny Nagel and real control command type pitchers that could hit that outside corner with consistency. The Braves would overshift to the opposite field as much as any team you'll ever see.
Tom Glavine working with Chip Carey and Joe Simpson. Braves television today.
That's a pretty easy thing to do, to overshift when Tom Glavine or Greg Maddox is on the mound.
Yeah. Tying run at the plate and a home run hitter at the plate. Well, the Cubs trailing 3-0 here in the 4th. And the pitch. Foul tip. 1-2. Might have gotten cheated in the pitch before, but not on this one. In time. It's really tough for Alfonso with a huge bat once he commits to stop his swing. So it brings up Colvin. In the dirt, 2-0. Cubs have yet to draw a walk. Padres leading the Reds in Cincinnati 4-3 in the 6th. The Reds have won 4 straight. Dontrell Willis got knocked out in the 3rd inning. Wade LeBlanc still pitching for San Diego. That one lined to right, and Jason Hayward with a great diving catch. That saved 2 runs. The ball was dipping, and Hayward had to leave his feet, but he made the grab to end the inning. And it remains 3-0 Braves.
Harmony. Jack, their love of suits is like no other, which is exactly why we're putting them back to back.
That's not a bad idea.
30 Rock alongside How I Met Your Mother. Weeknights, 8 East, 5 West. Starting September 19th on WGN America.
When you're looking for a twist, crack open a Bud Light Lime.
It's a fraction of the whole, but it's hard to control.
The great taste of Bud Light with a twist. Bud Light Lime. All the refreshment of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor. Bud Light Lime. It's Bud Light with a twist.
Watch out! My mama say his eyes are like the queen of day. Ain't no scaring them. You better believe. Yeah, believe it or not. Oh yes, this is powerful stuff. Got me circling like the moon round the sun. Hear me, this is powerful stuff. There's no way for you to give it up.
It's true. You never forget your first Subaru.
Blood to tear you down.
Well, remember that play by Jason Hayward, as the Cubs would have scored 2 runs if this ball drops in. Keeps it 3-0.
Hayward doesn't get a lot of notoriety for his defense. We haven't really seen enough of him to make a determination, but based on that play, pretty good recovery, long strides, got to a ball I didn't think he was going to be able to get to.
I really think the story of this game, if you had to pick one, is defense.
Yeah, no question.
Hayward making that big play, and the Cubs have not made enough plays. Matt Garza with an error, his 6th of the year. Throwing error by Aramis Ramirez a little later, and 2 runs have been unearned today.
A couple other plays that probably should have been made. One to Ramirez, and the ball up the middle that Starlin Castro did not dive for. I think he had a chance to get a glove on it and at least knock it down, keep the ball in the infield, but it got through for a base hit and an RBI. Don't show up as errors in the box score, but certainly mental errors at least.
Gonzalez pops into right. And it'll be Colvin with his sunglasses on today, really battling that sun. Let's take a look at our Xfinity HD shot of the game. Young Cub fan spending his half-year birthday in his first Cubs game. Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. He's already a better speller than you are.
That's not surprising. We're going to start celebrating half-year birthdays now. Man, I feel old enough already. I don't even know what mine is. Let's see. Okay, I'll figure it out.
You didn't wish me a happy half birthday. I'm very disappointed.
I'll get you a half birthday card.
You're probably right around yours.
Yeah, get close.
Costanza with his feet moving in the box, swings and misses. 0-2. to make sure we get this story in before we leave Atlanta. You were mentioning one of the members of the grounds crew here at Turner Field who worked at old Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and you always say hi to him, and he reminds you of a very funny story.
Every time we come to town since 1992. Back in that days, I used to hit infield practice. Teams would both take batting practice. The home team would take infield. The visiting team would take infield. And by then, a lot of the fans were in the stands already. And the last thing you would do as part of infield practice was hit 2 pop-ups to your 2 catchers. So I was standing at home plate. I had a ball in my hand, threw it up, and hit the first fungo up in the air. And while it was still climbing, I grabbed the second base ball and hit another one. As it turns out, the first one went behind the backstop behind home plate, and there was a fan sitting in the second row with a huge bucket of popcorn between his legs. And the first pop-up came down right in the bucket of popcorn. I mean, it flew everywhere, covered everybody in the section with popcorn. The gentleman stood up to brush off his lap, and the second pop-up came down and hit him right in the back of the head. Now, fortunately, he was okay. No harm, no foul. He had a good laugh about it after the fact, but you could not do that again in a million years trying to do it.
I think it's 3-2. It is. Constanza thinks it's ball 4.
Attempting to steal first base.
Well, he's had an interesting at bat. Now he thinks he's out. Okay, no, he knows he's got one more pitch at least. I mentioned this last night, that he likes to lick his bat after he hits a ball. And there you go.
Well, I've seen a lot of strange things in the game. I don't believe I've ever seen that before.
Constanza confirming with Eric Cooper. Was that ball 4?
What you don't realize, Len, is Constanza uses a 34.5-inch churro. That's why he likes to taste it once in a while.
Candy cane bat. Now, some of the superstitions players have, you know, you don't get to see. Just things they do with their bats. Guys have been known to sleep with their bats. But this one is kind of right out in the open.
Beachy attempting once again to get a sacrifice bunt down. But Constanza's a guy that can steal a base. Had some big minor league seasons, including 49 stolen bases a couple of years ago at AAA Akron when he was a member of the Indians organization. There
and
he goes.
He runs and he's safe. He's become a folk hero here in Atlanta. A good game today. Hit a home run Friday. Had a big night. Don't believe he licked the base.
4 out of 5 in his short time here in the major leagues with the Atlanta Braves. Stole that one rather easily.
Well, I have to ask. I mean, do they keep his bats in a special bag? Hermetically sealed and sanitized?
I would hope so.
I would really not want to know where his bats have been. And he might not want to either. He's going to try to steal third. Swing and a miss by Beachy. Safe. As Beachy strikes out, 2 outs in the inning. But Constanza has stolen 2 bags. Step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
He's a lot like Sherlock Holmes. Just don't sneeze on him. Monk. Sundays at 11 East, 8 West on WGN America.
Michael Bourne with a runner at third, 2 outs. inside 2-0. Broken bat flare and a base hit. Bourne knocks in a run. His second RBI of the day, and Constanza really helping the Braves manufacture a run, a walk, 2 steals, and then the broken bat base hit by Michael Bourne.
I mean, that's what Michael Bourne and Constanza have brought to this Braves team, the ability to manufacture runs without hitting the ball out of the ballpark. We talked about it in last night's game. About 42% of the runs that the Braves have scored this year have come via the home run, but more recently with Bourne and Constanza in the lineup, they've been stealing bases, scoring on base hits.
Yeah, the last few years, I would call this Atlanta offense sedentary.
Yeah.
But that's not the case with these two guys.
I say it all the time, how much speed changes the game, but especially the pitcher. It used to be you face this Braves team, all you had to concentrate on was executing your pitches because they weren't going to steal. They weren't going to play hit and run. They rarely used the sacrifice bunt. You just had to make sure to keep the ball out of the hitter's happy zone and keep him in the ballpark. But now with some base stealers in the lineup, some contact hitters in the lineup to go along with their power hitters, adds a whole new dimension to the Braves offense.
Caught the corner. 2-1 now. Has a sign from Soto. Runner goes. And Bourne is safe. He's going to take off for third. And another error on the Cubs. This will be on Soto.
Gio really had to rush his throw that time. Garza's not giving him much of an opportunity to throw out the speedy Braves, so he really rushed his throw that time. Probably didn't have a good grip on the baseball. A lot of sink as that ball got close to second base. Skittered away on the right side, allowing Bourne to advance to third.
Prado with a fly ball to Bird. Quirky, superstitious baseball players on stage today. Yeah.
Gotta go get a soda. Be right back.
Santa, my man.
Making a Pepsi.
Pepsi?
Yeah, Pepsi.
But Mr. Claus, I thought you had to deal with, you know.
I'm on vacation. I want to have a little fun.
Summertime is Pepsi time. Naughty.
Nice.
There were people I couldn't find anywhere. I found them on mylife.com.
Ever wonder who's searching for you? Go to MyLife.com and see if someone is searching for you for free.
Every day I'm blown away by who I find on MyLife.com.
MyLife.com is the internet's leading social site for both personal and work connections. Millions of people are joining each month. You could have messages waiting for you right now. Go to MyLife.com and see if someone is searching for you right now for free.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do people use smartphones to do dumb things?
Send. That is the weekend.
Yeah, Dom.
Will allow me to crack the bubbly.
Don't mind if I do.
Is a gentleman with a bro stash invited to this party?
Only if he's ready to rock.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Beep, and a net will appear.
Who's a net?
No, a net to catch you.
Tuesday on WGN America. Dempster's on the hill and ready to deal. But C. Lee is at the plate and ready to peel. Tuesday at 8 East on WGN America.
Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. Jose Constanza's had a nice series this weekend.
Can't stand you.
Can't stand you, right. 4-0 Atlanta. Cubs have been handcuffed by Brandon Beachy. We had a great chance to score in the fourth. Jason Hayward bailed out his starting pitcher with an excellent grab out in right. The 0-1 to Soto. Swing and a miss on a curveball. Pirates finally beat the Brewers. Well, they lead 1-0 in the fourth today in Milwaukee. Charlie Morton against Sean Markham.
Well, you were giving us some amazing stats, and we were down in Mike Quaddy's office earlier this morning. That Brewers Pirates matchup.
Yeah, was it 35-3? Milwaukee against the Pirates over their last 38 at home, and in the overall series since 07, they've won 53 of the last 70. The last two borderline pitches went Soto's way to make it 3-2. Pirates have yet to beat Milwaukee this season. Called strike 3. Didn't get that call.
A new season, a new look. Join Vineline, the official magazine of the Chicago Cubs, in celebrating its 25th anniversary in 2011. Get the backstage pass to how the Cubs live and play on the field as well as off. Subscriptions start at just $29.95. For more information and to order, visit Cubs.com/Vineline.
Pitch to Garza. Now 1-2. 6 punch outs already for Beachy, and he's closing in on number 7. He had 10 in his last outing, but no decision at Florida. Two down, and it's Starlin, Castro. Only Michael Pineda of the Mariners, among all rookie pitchers, has more strikeouts than Beachy, who now has 112 on the year. Pineda with 137. Splintered bad roller foul. By the way, we mentioned the hometown of Brandon Beachy, Kokomo, Indiana. I've never been. It's about 3 hours from Chicago. You ever been to Kokomo?
Can't say as I have. Of course, I haven't been to Aruba or Jamaica either.
Right. If you happen to go to one of my favorite watering holes in Milwaukee, Walski's, you will notice a proclamation on the wall in that tavern. I believe it's from the mayor of Kokomo, Indiana. While you're on the premises, you are an honorary citizen of Kokomo, Indiana. So I guess technically, while I've never been to Kokomo, I've been a citizen a few late nights. And we've traveled to the Brew City.
For at least a few hours, yeah.
Yeah. Castro chased, and Beachy strikes out the side. 8 on the day, and he has a 4-0 lead.
Hey, Dave, we're out of Bud Light. Oh, good thing I just downloaded this app. Here we go.
It's the sure sign of a good time. Just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Nice app.
I gotta get a new phone.
At Dairy Queen, we don't stop at good enough. We didn't just stop at soft serve. We made the one-of-a-kind Blizzard. And we don't just make a cookie one. We make a Nutter Butter cookie one. We don't just have heart-shaped balloons. We have heart-shaped balloons tied to sharks. And this isn't just chest hair. This is chest hair that spells out what I say. Because at Dairy Queen, good isn't good enough. The new Nutter Butter Blizzard. Real Nutter Butter cookie pieces and peanut butter cream filling. So good, it's ridiculous.
And so the conversation turned until the sun went down.
It's a fact. Your nutritional needs can go up when you're on the road to recovery. Proper nutrition can help you get back on your feet. 3 out of 4 doctors recommend the Ensure brand for extra nutrition. Ensure Clinical Strength has Revigor and 13 grams of protein to protect, preserve, and promote muscle health. And Immune Balance to help support your immune system. Ensure Clinical Strength, helping you to bounce back. Ensure Nutrition in Charge.
Leela on Futurama, starting September 19th on WGN America.
Take the Cubs with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Cubs game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Cubs.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Well, Matt Garza again not getting any run support. And he trails this one 4-0. Bottom 5, McCann, Ugla, Freeman. For Atlanta, if you just joined us, Dan Ugla is 0 for 1 with a sac fly as he tries to extend a hitting streak to 34 in a row. McCann just off the disabled list. He is struck out and fouled out. Tough matchups coming up as the Giants will be here tomorrow. 4-game series against the Braves. Bumgarner, Sanchez, Kane, Lincecum. So if Dan Uggla's going to continue his hitting streak and gets a hit today, he's going to have to do it against one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. Arguably the best. Daniel will take it unassisted. The other thing, too, as this thing continues, if he doesn't get that hit early, he's in danger of being intentionally walked. Not because teams are going to try to stop him from getting the next game on his hitting streak, but because he's so hot. If there's a base open and you're in the 6th, 7th, 8th in a tight game, the other team's just going to intentionally walk you. Colvin still coming, and a catch by Barney. Darwin Barney robbing Uggla. And the most unpopular person in the entire state of Georgia, if not the entire Southeast at the moment, is Darwin Barney.
Well, I thought sure that one was going to drop, Len. A long run for Darwin Barney. Leaves his feet fully stretched out, able to make the catch and hold on to the ball after crashing to the turf out there in right field. Boy, can't do it any better than that. Boy, dealing with the sun, the wind pushing the ball further away from him. He knew the right fielder, Tyler Colvin, was in the vicinity, but it didn't stop him from diving and making a great catch.
Castro with the catch. By the way, if Uggla were to walk 4 times in a game, and those were his only plate appearances, the hitting streak would not be over. That's not the case today, but just keep that in mind. 4-0 Braves.
Barney, Jack, their love of suits is like no other, which is exactly why we're putting them back to back.
That's not a bad idea.
30 Rock alongside How I Met Your Mother. Weeknights, 8 East, 5 West. Starting September 19th on WGN America.
0 calories. Maximum Pepsi taste.
Tommy. T-H-O.
Cece, glad you made it. Ricky wins again.
Oh, what is this place?
Iowa. Only with maximum Pepsi taste and 0 calories.
Whoa.
I love it when he does that.
Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
People everywhere are taking a stand and booking on choicehotels.com.
When I book a hotel online, it should be simple and easy.
We have the right to take the kids on a wonderful vacation.
As long as I save 20%.
I want to guarantee that my room rate is the lowest on the web.
With no vacation bedtime?
Don't push it.
Oh.
It's your voice, it's your choicehotels.com. Get the best internet rate guaranteed and save up to 20% every day. Book now at choicehotels.com.
Say hello to the new Mango Pineapple Real Fruit Smoothies from McCafe. Bursting with fresh flavors and blended with creamy low-fat yogurt. The simple joy of exotic refreshment.
Yeah, Darwin Barney will lead it off for the Cubs here in the top half of the 6th. We mentioned at the top of the show that he's made some real nice defensive plays in this series. None better than that diving catch in right field to take a hit away from Dan Uggla.
A strike. Send out happy birthday wishes to Carl Rice Sr. It's from your son Carl, the Cubs VP of ballpark operations. Base hit right field. He's 2 for 3.
Third leadoff single in 6 innings for the Cubs. They've yet to push the guy around and get him on the plate. Hopefully this will be the inning. Darwin Barney with that inside out swing, producing a line drive to Jason Hayward in right.
Another base hit. Barney with a good read on it. He'll end up at third. Cubs in business. First and third, nobody out. Well, remember, I was talking with Darwin the other day. The differences between hitting second and eighth. He said that extra at bat against a starter. That's key. And the Cubs going through that order now for the 3rd time. All of them seeing Beachy for the first time here today, and Roger McDowell, the pitching coach, will head out.
Yeah, you look at the splits for Brandon Beachy on the season, and it would tell you that he gets better as the game goes on. Batting average first time through an order, 264. The second time through the batting order, 256. The third time it drops down to 222. Of course, that's history. That's what's happened before today. What we've seen from Beachy today is a lot of fastballs first time through the order, a lot of change-ups the second time, and started to mix in more breaking balls as well. See what he does here the third time through the Cubs order.
See what Pena can do. And a really good at bat his last time up. Looked a deep count and eventually fly to the warning track. Scott Linebrink just off the disabled list is the righty. Hard throwing lefty. George Sherrill. That's not Johnny Venters. It's George Sherrill, who we saw last night.
Carlos apparently having some issues picking up the rotation on that slider. He's checked his swing several times today on that Brandon Beachy slider down and in. That one may have caught the strike zone anyway, even if he didn't swing at it. Carlos Pena had a great at bat against Derek Lowe in the ball game last night. Lowe was pounding that outside part of the plate with that tailing, sinking fastball, and Carlos stayed right on one, drove it to the gap in left center field for a couple of RBI.
Nearing 4,000 career at bats, 252 career home runs, including a team leading 22 this season His first as a Cub. And he asks for time as Beachy took an extra second too long. Deep left. Costanza at the warning track. He's got it. Barney will tag and score. Pena will get a sacrifice fly. It's 4-1.
Pena's hit a couple of balls hard today. Last time up, he flew out to deep center field to the warning track to Michael Bourne. This time a high fly ball to left that carried all the way to the warning track once again. This time with a runner at third. With the Cubs on the board.
And that'll end the day for the starter, Brandon Beachy. He will exit with a 4-1 lead. I would assume it's line break against Marlon Byrd when we come back.
When you come to eHarmony, I can promise you, we sincerely care about you. I've worked my entire life and counseled thousands of couples to figure out what makes great relationships. And we'll bring all that experience to look out for you every step of the way. Experience the difference of a site that really cares about helping you find a wonderful relationship. Visit eHarmony today and review your compatible matches free.
What do you think?
We'd have to get all new appliances.
We'll just go to the warehouse stores. Pick out everything you want. The sink's ringing. Hello?
You think those guys have everything you want?
Consider this your wake-up call. Only Sears has Kenmore in all 10 of the top 10 brands. The other guys don't even carry all top 3.
I hope you brought an umbrella.
Because it's raining cold, hard facts up in here.
Thinking about buying appliances somewhere else? Think again. Sears.
Phone retract.
Chloe is 9 months old.
She is the greatest thing ever.
One little smile, one little laugh. Anybody? We would do anything for her. My name is Kim Bryant, and my husband and I made a will on LegalZoom.
It was really easy to do.
We created LegalZoom to help you take care of the ones you love. Go to LegalZoom.com today and complete your will in minutes. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Veteran right-hander Scott Linebrink just activated from the disabled list. He had been dealing with a lower back strain. He's been around a while.
Seven previous at-bats for Marlon Byrd against Scott Linebrink. He's 3 for 7. Marlon Byrd with 6 home runs on the season. Good time for number 7 right here. The Cubs right back into this one.
Braves got Linebrink from the White Sox in December. His 6th organization. And the Braves are his 5th NL team. Last 3 years with the White Sox. Ball 1 is low to start this at bat. We have some dessert that has just been delivered to the booth. Some crepes. We got a fruit crepe. I got here a banana.
Oh, baby.
Weighs about 8 pounds.
I'm sure it's low cal. Sure what the taste treat would be here in Atlanta. I thought maybe they'd slop us up some grits or something, but yeah, this looks pretty good.
balls and a strike.
We're told by our guys in the truck that they were all out of possum chili, so we'll go with the crepes.
The Smoky Mountain oysters.
Yeah, the roadkill du jour.
Oh, lined into center. Marlon Byrd is 3 for 3.
You talk about sending a pitch right back where it came from. Marlon Byrd about takes Scott Linebrink's head off with that bullet back through the box.
Tying run at the plate. Soriano has been on with at the plate with runners on every time up. 1 on in the second, 2 on in the fourth, 2 more on here in the sixth.
Well, this is one as a catcher. You're just lucky. That slider or sinker, whatever it was, pulled way over in that left-handed batter's box. McCann just reaches across and picks it out of the dirt like a first baseman.
Hit. Everybody will advance 1 to load the bases for Tyler Colvin.
Slider Linebrink was trying to work out to the outside corner. Didn't quite get out there far enough. Fonzie hooks it back into left field. And even though Ivan DeJesus was unable to send to Ramos Ramirez, we got to look at Constanza's arm from left field. Not much carry on that throw. It one-hops the cutoff man. Something to file away for future reference.
Freddie Gonzalez is going to stick with his right-hander against the left-handed hitting Colvin. And I think one of the reasons why is considering how hot Reed Johnson is. Well, if you're Freddie, you know, okay, if I bring a lefty in to face Colvin, Mike Quaddy could counter with a guy who's gone 9 for his last 12.
Well, you bring up a great point. As a manager, you not only have to think about a move, but what would the counter move then be, and which situation do you prefer?
Pulled in the right base hit. Ramirez scores. Bird coming around. Hayward's going to throw to third. A 2-run single, and it's 4-3.
Cubs lately have been scoring a lot of their runs via the homer, but not the case here in this inning. This is the 5th single. This time driving home a couple of teammates. Tyler Colvin with a nice quick swing, made a very nice adjustment right at the end, drives that ball through the right side of the infield. Great jump at second base by Marlon Byrd.
And still only 1 out. Tying runners at third base. Here comes Freddie. We have greeted Linebrink fresh off the DL with 3 consecutive singles. And the call has been made. Don't go anywhere. 3 in. The Cubs still threatening, trailing now by only a run.
In New Orleans, we know how to throw a party.
In the UFC, we know how to kick back.
Throw in over 3,000 Bud Light contest winners, and here we go.
Bud Light's giving away thousands of trips to New Orleans for the Bud Light UFC Battle on the Bayou. Get in on the action at facebook.com/Bud Light or wherever Bud Light is sold.
It's the sure sign of fight night. Here we go.
If you watch the show, you have to know at least a little bit of something about the yellow umbrella. Ted walks outside and talks about, if I would have went right this day or if I would have went left. Yeah, right place, right time. And he has the yellow umbrella, so you know the whole story is important.
Can't wait to see what the universe has lined up for me out there.
I think it's kind of the symbol of the show. And every time you see the yellow umbrella, you know that this is going to introduce an element with that kind of main arc of meeting the mother.
Adrian Monk.
I'm told you're germophobic, afraid of the dark, heights, crowds, and milk.
So that's the famous Adrian Monk?
What a time to be me.
He's kind of a head case.
Did you see that? It was a two-hander.
With a knack for solving the hard-to-crack cases.
Maybe we can solve it together, huh?
Yeah, sure, great. It's a nutty world.
Monk.
Did you hear that?
Sunday.
It's the bomb.
On WGN America.
Time now for our Honda Games summary. Cubs finally giving Matt Garza some run support. Dan Uggla has his hitting streak on the line today. Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the 2011 Honda Cross Tour, available with 4-wheel drive. Arodys Vizcaíno, second appearance of the series.
And we saw him in game 1 of this series. Came in and pitched 2 innings, gave up only 1 base hit, did strike out, a batter zeros otherwise across the board.
It's his 3rd major league appearance. Vizcaíno, just 20 years old. Very hard throwing right-hander. Brought up 4 days ago. Swing and a miss by Soto.
Well, we've seen that a couple times in this series here in Atlanta. It happened with regularity in seasons past. The bottom hand coming off the bat, finishing just with the right hand, and then shaking out the left hand and wrist area as if he was in some kind of pain.
No play for Freeman. Now you've got Garza on deck, which creates an interesting situation here. So Mike Quaddy already going over all the scenarios, whether or not Garza will take the at bat. He's hoping Soto can come through here and allow Garza to take the at bat and stay in the game. He's only made 87 pitches. The Cubs still trail this one. 0-2, he got him. Called strike 3. Now what do you do? Well, the answer is you pinch hit for Garza. It'll be Blake DeWitt.
You take your shot where you have it. There's no guarantee that the Cubs are going to get runners into scoring position. You mentioned the name Johnny Venters earlier. Craig Kimbrell, their closer. It's lights out when those guys come into the ball game, so you better take your shot right here.
This is something Matt didn't have to deal with in the American League. This is a different deal over here in the NL. One strike on the pinch hitter, Blake DeWitt. That gets away. Soriano on his way to the dish. The throw's going to be late. And it's 4-4. They've tied it up.
And keep in mind, Brian McCann has only caught one ball game in the past 2 weeks plus. Just didn't react well to that pitch. Off the end of his glove, then off of Eric Cooper's shin guard, rolls over in that first base on deck circle, allowing Soriano to trot home with the tying run. Tyler Colvin now represents the go-ahead run at second base.
It's a wild pitch on Vizcaíno. 1-2. A 4-run sixth to tie it.
Let's go.
Left-hander John Grabo is up in the Cubs bullpen. Singles, a sac fly, and a wild pitch. It's been a big inning for the Cubs. They've come all the way back. Out to chase one, and he's going to reach.
Another factor to consider, Len. Brian McCann probably has not caught Vizcaíno, and maybe back in spring training, but Vizcaíno, as you mentioned, was just recently called up to the major leagues. McCann has been on the disabled list. He does not look comfortable at all receiving pitches from his right-hander, and another one gets away, allowing Blake DeWitt to reach on the strikeout.
First and third for Castro. Ninth batter of the inning. They batted around. Two wild ones already since Vizcaíno entered. Two. Mentioned it the other night, one of the rare guys Castro has faced since he's come to the big leagues who's younger than he is. He's 21. Vizcaíno's only 20.
If Starlin Castro wasn't such a good two-strike hitter, you might think about sending Blake DeWitt here, try to steal a run. The idea being, we know Blake DeWitt's not a base stealer, but if he breaks for second base and pulls up, forces a throw from Brian McCann to second base, if Tyler Colvin is alert and can sneak down that line at third base, maybe you could steal a run in this situation. But those are the numbers that will probably cause that not to happen. Those are tremendous numbers, hitting with two strikes.
Strikes out, and the inning comes to an end. Vizcaíno strikes out 3, but was a little wild. The Cubs have tied it.
Oh my God! Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm independent.
In New Orleans, we know how to throw a party.
In the UFC, we know how to kick back.
Throwing over 3,000 Bud Light contest winners, and here we go.
Bud Light's giving away thousands of trips to New Orleans for the Bud Light UFC Battle on the Bayou. Get in on the action at Facebook.com/Bud Light or wherever Bud Light is sold.
It's the sure sign of fight night. Here we go.
Even in the most uncertain times, there are some things we know for sure. There will still be weddings, still be babies, and still be bright futures. That's why New York Life has been helping families plan for the expected and unexpected for 166 years. Backed by the highest ratings for financial strength, we're safe and secure, so you can be too. Give your family the gift of a secure financial future. New York Life, the company you keep.
Chug that coffee. Bolt that burrito. No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat until it turns into heartburn. Good thing you got what it takes to beat that heat, too. Zantac. It's strong. Just one pill can knock out the burn. It's fast, the speed you need for heartburn relief, and it lasts up to 12 hours. So, let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
I just love television so much.
We've got a ball game. Cubs with a 4 spot in the top half of the 6th inning to tie this game up. 5 singles in the inning. They took advantage of a couple of wild pitches by the Braves staff. And John Grabo will take over for Matt Garza on the mound.
Hayward 0 for 2. How's the fruit crepe?
Pretty tasty, I have to admit.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
What do you got in there? Strawberries, lots of healthy stuff.
Yeah, bananas,
whipped cream.
I'm working my way down to the bottom. There might be a surprise in the bottom. I don't know.
You can check it out on our WGN baseball blog if you'd like to see pictures of our dessert as we eat our way through the major leagues. What are we going to have in Houston?
Fried chicken.
Got some crawfish. Jeff Samardzija is up. Two on Hayward, who homered this year in his first at bat on opening day. It's something that doesn't happen very often, and he's done it twice. Second player in Major League history to do that. He's going to find right center field for a base hit. Leadoff single for Hayward here in the 6th.
That's not where you want to put a breaking ball to a left-handed hitter. Leave it hanging over the inside part of the plate and down a little bit. Fortunate that Hayward only got a single into right center on that pitch. Scooted over on that outer third of the plate with some movement away from the left-handed hitter. You most likely get a swing and a miss, or at least a ball put into play weakly.
Strike to Gonzalez. I should add the second player in history, Jason Hayward, to hit a homer in his first at bat in each of his first 2 major league seasons. It all kind of goes downhill after that. Generally, you shouldn't expect to hit a home run in every at bat of the season. But after the first at bat, Jason Hayward might have.
He was on pace to hit 500 plus homers.
He takes off for second, and he's going to be safe. 4 steals over the last 3 innings for the Braves.
Once again, just too much jump for Gio to do anything about it. Hayward was on the move before John Grabo even lifted that front leg. Kind of an awkward head-first slide into second base, but well ahead of Giovanni Soto's throw.
Bunted by Gonzalez. It's fouled just behind home plate. Eric Cooper made the call. Gonzalez was doing that on his own.
Well, indeed, he was doing it on his own. Jason Hayward had a great read out there at second base. He was going to make it to third base easily. Ramirez was kind of in no man's land.
There's no question a veteran hitter like Gonzalez is going to try to hit the ball to the right side. 2 strikes.
Once again, we're at that point of the game where you know that the pitcher's probably not going to hit for himself if you have an opportunity to score runs. So Gonzalez willing to give himself up in this situation, knowing that pitcher spot is due up 2 after him, and we'll see a pinch hitter in that spot.
Like a bunt. Terrible throw. Braves lead. Another error by a Cub. Second by a Cubs pitcher on a throw. It's 5-4 as Hayward scores.
It's one thing to get beat by the opposing team. It's another thing to beat yourself, and that's what the Cubs are trying to do today. Just an absolutely horrible throw by John Grabo. Had plenty of time to get Gonzalez at first base. Just airmailed it down that right field line.
Costanza went. 4 errors by the Cubs today. All of them on throws. Garza threw it into center, trying to get an out at second base. Ramirez hit a runner in a rundown. Soto trying to catch a base stealer, threw it into center, and Grabo just airmailed one into right. Get Costanza. It's a sacrifice. David Ross was in the on-deck circle, but he has been called back. Brooks Conrad, switch hitter, will bat right-handed.
Conrad, a little more of a contact hitter from the right side of the plate, has better power as a left-handed hitter.
I know aesthetics probably shouldn't matter. You get to a certain place in a game and in the season, you just look at the score and that should tell the deal. But when you have a bad defensive day like this, it feels a lot worse, doesn't it?
It really does.
I mean, if the Braves had 5 solo home runs, it'd still be 5-4. But as you say, it's one thing to have a team beat you. It's another thing to feel like you're handing them opportunities. Change up, low and outside, 1-1.
You might possibly think about pitching around Conrad. If you walk him, it sets up a potential inning-ending double play. However, the on-deck hitter's Michael Bourne. Really tough to double him up.
Slider inside. Conrad old school. He's got pine tar on the bat, but he doesn't have any tape on the bat. No batting gloves. No wristbands. Baseball version of going commando, as they say.
Okay. Yeah, some guys just like the feel better. You know, your hands wrapped around the knob of that bat. You can feel contact. You know whether you square it up or whether you hit it out near the end or near the trademark, or in this case, you don't hit it at all.
2 down after the strikeout of Conrad.
Good change up from John Graybo. You know, Brooks Conrad off the bench wants to drive that run in. Extremely aggressive at bat. Ends up chasing a change up out of the zone low.
Unearned runs today for Atlanta. Cubs came back to tie it. They trailed 4-0. Made it 4-4 in the top of this inning, but another unearned run, giving the Braves the lead again. Popped him up shallow right. And it's Barney, the second baseman, to end the inning. Unearned tally, 5-4 Atlanta after 6. Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Great save, kid. You deserve this.
Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
Right now, we have one coming up, so that's a good review.
Pizza Tracker lets you track your order at every stage on Domino's.com, and it lets you leave a review instantly.
Tracker gives accountability. It lets you know if Jess is making your pizza, I'm Jess, and I'm making your pizza.
So get our $5.99 deal and give us your review.
What if more people saw the reviews?
If more people in the store, or...
Our reviews are up in Times Square, so order now and tell us how we did.
I think that raises the bar just a little bit higher.
I shall far progressive
responsible for this much of the team, you need a car you can count on.
He's Bud Fan Cam.
Everybody's how it goes. I try to understand it. Yeah, I try not to lose. But can you really win when you must pick and choose? Who do you belong to?
That's one of our favorite new bands, the Sheepdogs, with Who. That's our Bud Fan Cam. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
They sound like they're from down here, but they're actually from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, but they grew up listening to Southern rock. Here's left-hander Eric O'Flaherty, fourth pitcher for Atlanta today. And he starts Darwin Barney with a strike. Like to get to O'Flaherty, because if you don't, you got to face Venters and Kimbrell. And actually, even if you do, you're probably going to face those guys anyway, because they hadn't pitched in the first two games of this series.
Yeah, you get the feeling you're going to see those guys today just to get some work in, if nothing else. Venters, the left-handed setup guy for the Braves, 67 2/3 innings. He's only surrendered 35 hits, 74 strikeouts. Stay hot.
Base hit number 3 for Barney. That's 7 knocks over the last 2 days. And oh, by the way, not to slight O'Flaherty, he has a major league leading 1.02 ERA among relievers.
Third hit of the day for Darwin Barney, right back up the middle of the field. Keep the line moving. Looks like it's going to be one of those days. Giving runs away defensively, got to keep scoring them offensively.
Ramirez takes a strike. Infield pop. And it's Gonzalez. One down here in the 7th. Now Pena hit a sac fly. They get the Cubs on the board in the 6th. Games have gone final. The Giants did beat Florida 5-2 in Miami, and Toronto over the Angels 5-4-10. Blue Jays tied it in the 9th with a single run and then won it in the 10th. Foul. That's a foul ball. Edwin Encarnacion with a game-ending RBI single in the 10th. They tied it on a Brett Lowry RBI double in the bottom of the 9th. White Sox finally snapped their home losing streak last night with a win. They had lost 7 in a row previously, and they lead the Royals today 6-2 in the 7th. Brent Lillibridge with a 3-run homer in the 1st inning. win today would get the White Sox back to the 500 mark. So Marge are really cranking it up now in the bullpen. Not sure if that's O'Flaherty's best move, but if it is, it isn't very good. Some guys just use that, though, as the show me move.
Yeah, I would guess O'Flaherty has a better move to first base, but will probably only use it after setting up Darwin Barney with a couple of the poor moves. A little quicker that time. I think that's a mistake a lot of young left-handed pitchers who have good pickoff moves make. They show you their best move on their first pickoff attempt. You can set up a hitter to take an extra step or two on his lead by showing him a bad move and then dropping the good move on it.
Carlos Pena launches to right to give the Cubs their first lead today. Boy, he had hit 2 to the warning track earlier, and he finds the seats in right for his 23rd of the year.
Center field warning track drive that was caught. A left field warning track drive that was caught. Our BMW ultimate drive just hit it over the warning track in right field. Carlos Pena with a monster home run to right. That beautiful sound you love to hear. Our BMW ultimate drive brought to you by your Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana BMW dealers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
In the hole, it's short, and Gonzalez will get Marlon Byrd 2 outs. First time Byrd has been retired after a 3-for-3 start. Might change the bullpen plans here for Mike Quaddy. We'll see. John Grabo now the pitcher of record. He was before. He was on the hook for a potential loss. Now he could get the win. Still a long way to go. We're only in the 7th. We saw Samardzija up earlier, and he'll still probably work in the bottom of the 7th. Two and 2 to Soriano. Modest 7-game hitting streak. And the inning is over. Carlos Pena, 2-run homer. The Cubs with 6 runs the last 2 innings.
Have you met the new neighbors of late night? Liz Lemon.
I'm your worst nightmare is who I is.
Bender.
Only I didn't have so much crunk in my badunka-dunk.
Frank.
Fantastic. Let's make some cash.
This is just getting silly.
Welcome to the neighborhood. That's what we call a block party. Late nights on WGN America.
It's time for the 7th inning snack. Rumor has it that the 7th inning stretch started in 1910 when President William Howard Taft's leg fell asleep at the game and decided to stand up and stretch. We think he was really getting up to get some Jack Link's beef jerky, high in protein and low in fat. Jack Link's beef jerky is the tasty snack that fills you up, not out. And tune in to HD Baseball all season long on WGN America.
Jack Link's beef jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Oh my gosh.
Tim.
Jack Link's jerky. Feed your wild side.
What do you think?
We'd have to get all new appliances.
We just go to the warehouse stores. Pick out everything you want. The sink's ringing. Hello?
You think those guys have everything you want?
Consider this your wake-up call. Only Sears has Kenmore in all 10 of the top 10 brands. The other guys don't even carry all top 3.
I hope you brought an umbrella.
Because it's raining cold, hard facts up in here.
Thinking about buying appliances somewhere else? Think again. Sears.
Phone retract?
Well, my lead pipe hurts a little.
That's normal. Next patient.
Cub fans enjoying this one. Trailed early 4-0. Tied it at 4 in the 6th. The Braves got an unearned run to take the lead again, but then Carlos Pena with a go-ahead 2-run homer. We've got a couple of changes for the Cubs. As Reed Johnson will come in to play left and Jeff Samardzija will pitch. Carlos Pena with his team-leading 23rd home run of the year, and a big one. Johnson will hit in the 9th spot. And here's Samardzija. What a nice 1-2-3-7.
Yeah, that'd be something, wouldn't it? Well, you look at the scorecard today. Every inning the Cubs have made an error. The Braves have scored at least 1 run. How about an errorless inning?
A good start. Not easy here. Prado, McCann, Ugla. Dan Ugla is 0 for 2 with a sac fly and robbed of a hit, as Darwin Barney made an excellent running diving catch on a bloop in the 5th inning. So Samardzija taking his final warm-up tosses. Cubs by far in their best stretch of the year, coming in having won 10 of their last 13 and a chance today for their 4th consecutive series win. And they have erased 2 deficits in this one. Samardzija from the stretch with nobody on, facing Martin Prado. 1 for 3 with an RBI. Inside at 97.
That was an unusual looking slider from Samardzija. Normally his slider is very short and sharp and late breaking when he throws it well. That one was a big sweeping, almost like a sidearm curveball.
Get out there. One away. Catcher McCann 0 for 3. His return from Badillo hasn't yet hit a ball out of the infield. What Dan Uggla's thinking about right now, the team trails by 1. Always trying to put the team first. However, he needs a hit to keep his streak alive. I guess one thing would help the other, right? Well, you can sometimes be a little selfish in this game, and it will help the team. Other times, not so much.
Yeah. And Dan Uggla's not the kind of guy to try to bunt for a base hit to keep a streak going anyway. McCann has hit a couple balls hard foul down that right field line today, which indicates his timing is still off just a little bit. It's hard to sit out for 2 weeks and then come back after only 6 minor league at bats and expect your timing to be where it was before the injury.
Backpedaling Castro. 2 down. Here comes Uggla. Maybe for the last time today. He does have 9 infield hits during his 33-game hitting streak. Has 6 infield hits during his first 86 games this season. And
part of the reason he's able to get some infield hits is because everybody plays him so deep. Ramos Ramirez a good 15 feet behind the bag at third, right on the line. Starlin Castro with his heels on the outfield grass. Darwin Barney actually standing on the outfield grass. Castro. The inning is over. Uggla 0 for 3 with a sac fly. After 7, 6-5 Cubs.
What are you guys doing? It's summer. Let's hit the beach. You need a Pepsi. Ooh. Let's have some fun. Woo, all right. Summertime is Pepsi time. You gotta work on that tan, bro.
That's all the conversation turned until the sun went down.
You could save a bundle with Geico's multi-policy discount. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
What makes Dove Men Plus Care different from other deodorants? Only Dove Men Plus Care combines 48-hour protection with our caring 1/4 moisturizer technology in a non-irritant formula. New Dove Men Plus Care deodorant. Tough on sweat, not on skin.
We're making Golden Corral's deliciously endless Saturday and Sunday breakfast buffet even better. Yup, we're now grilling hand-cut USDA sirloin steak for breakfast, and we're serving it right there on the breakfast buffet. Steak for breakfast at the same low price, only at Golden Corral.
Tuesday at 8 East on WGN America.
See, the Cubs have scored 6 times the last 2 innings and have a 6-5 lead. They'll try to add on here in the 8th. Hard throwing lefty Johnny Venters, 26 years old, 6'3", 195 pounds. Will take over for Atlanta.
Venters was a 30th round draft pick back in 03. Had Tommy John surgery in 05, and boy, has he come back in a big way. There's the numbers I mentioned earlier. Just stellar numbers. Rarely gets hit hard. Big time strikeout pitcher.
Venters an all-star this year. Born in Pikeville, Kentucky.
And a real oddity, Len, a left-handed power sinker ball pitcher. You just don't see that very often. Mid to upper 90s with a lot of downward movement. Venters was 60 appearances into his rookie season before he gave up his first and only home run last season to Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay, then. Okay. 97, 96, 88.
You throw that hard with that kind of sink on your fastball, breaking pitch doesn't have to be that good, and that one was really bad. At the weak swing from Tyler Colvin for strike 3.
Fell out of that pitch. I would say that's about the limit, Bob. 96, 97. Anything faster than that, and yet, as we said when Chapman pitched against the Cubs recently, there's just not enough time for the ball to really move that much when you start throwing 98, 99.
I'm amazed he gets that kind of movement in the mid-90s.
Yeah. Two and two.
Watch the movement at the end of this pitch. Looked like it was on the outer third of the plate, ended up just off the outside corner.
2 outs.
This is what Johnny Venters did in the postseason last year against the San Francisco Giants. He pitched in 4 games in that series, a total of 5 1/3 innings. He did give up 7 hits, but no runs. Struck out 8, did not walk a Giants batter.
Now the red-hot Reed Johnson. 9 hits over his last 3 games. Probably see him in there tomorrow night in Houston in left. For Soriano, Henry Sosa, rookie right-hander, will go for the Astros. Rodrigo Lopez for the Cubs, 0-2. All strikes from Venters. Good numbers in this ballpark. Reed Johnson. Goodness. Johnny Venters. 3 strikeouts.
Barney, Jack, their love of suits is like no other, which is exactly why we're putting them back to back.
That's not a bad idea.
30 Rock alongside How I Met Your Mother. Weeknights, 8 East, 5 West. Starting September 19th on WGN America.
boys. I'll be the designated driver.
At Dairy Queen, we don't stop at good enough. We didn't just stop at soft serve. We made the one-of-a-kind Blizzard. And we don't just make a cookie one. We make a Nutter Butter cookie one. We don't just have heart-shaped balloons. We have heart-shaped balloons tied to sharks. And this isn't just chest hair. This is chest hair that spells out what I say. Because at Dairy Queen, good isn't good enough. The new Nutter Butter Blizzard. Real Nutter Butter cookie pieces and peanut butter cream filling. So good, it's ridiculous.
It was a controlled experiment.
Day one of our 3-day mission.
We didn't know what would happen.
What is that? The Russians are on the moon. Liberty, you found a dead cosmonaut.
Houston, tell me you didn't know this.
Something else out here. We're gonna get you home.
They're lying.
Oh no! Something's inside my suit.
Apollo 18, rated PG-13, September 2nd.
Rubber match today, and the Cubs lead the Braves 6-5. We get into the bottom of the 8th. Well, that was impressive stuff from Johnny Venters. He struck out all 3. 11 pitches, 9 were strikes. Most of them swings and misses. Let's see what Sean Marshall can do here after an impressive 1-2-3 for Jeff Samardzija in the 7th. Samardzija needed just 10 pitches to get through that inning. Freeman, Hayward, and Gonzalez due up against Marshall. Cubs leading 6-5. Here we go. Slider strike.
A little sharper break on those first 2 sliders from Sean Marshall. That pitch has kind of deserted him for a couple of outings. Kind of rolling it up there. Some of them staying up in the zone. Much better today.
To this point, the Cubs have overcome a very sloppy defensive performance. 4 errors, leading to 3 unearned runs. But they lead late. Major League saves leader Craig Kimbrell up in their bullpen. 3-2 the count. It's the first fastball in the sequence. It's Hayward on deck. High chopper. Barney bare hands and gets him. What a play. And he's been a Gold Glover today defensively.
Boy, made the instantaneous decision to hold up. Play that ball barehanded and throw on to first base. Right here, I think he was thinking about smothering it with his glove, throwing on to first, decides to hold up, play it on the big hop barehanded. Good decision by Darwin Barney. Nice play.
Here's Chipper Jones batting for Jason Hayward. For 8 in the series with a home run, 2 doubles. He's knocked in 4, has scored 3 times. Named to the All-Star team this season, but did not play. 2-1. 7th time he's been an All-Star.
Let's go, Chip.
No question, Chipper has power from both sides of the plate, but because more at bats as a left-handed hitter, a lot more home runs as a lefty.
Castro has some time. The jump toss to Pena, out at first. Well, the Cubs now making up for the defensive miscues earlier with a couple of fantastic gems by the 2 kids.
A couple of highlight reel plays. Starlin Castro about 8 or 10 steps into the hole. The jump throw. Chipper obviously does not run like he once did early in his career. Oh my, can't do it any better than that. 2 sparkling plays by the Cubs young middle infielders.
Gonzalez didn't like that call by Eric Cooper. And he went around, and just like that, 2 strikes on Brave shortstop. Cooper made the call. Gonzalez saying, why don't you check down at first base?
And when you argue the first called strike and step out of the batter's box and make a big deal out of it, chances are a borderline check swing is not going to go your way on the next pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Marshall goes 1-2-3 with a lot of help from his infield defense.
The American Garage, the temple of the tune-up, the Taj Mahal of overhaul. More of them count on AutoZone parts than ever before. But parts are just part of what we do. Our trusted advice and helping hands approach is everywhere. So, whether it's his place, her place, or the pro's place, parts are just part of what we do.
Get in the zone.
AutoZone.
I go wider than Strider. Go wilder, wild like a tiger. Got skill, my tricks are real ill. Fast like a cedar, move like a ninja. Chill, feel no time to stand still. Check out my style, I run with the realest deal. Spin the steel wheel.
Introducing the 2012 Kia Sorento with up to 32 miles per gallon and more features than ever before.
Leap, and a net will appear.
Who's a net?
No, a net to catch you.
I don't vote Republican or Democrat. Choosing is a sin, so I always just write in the Lord's name.
Changes now for the Braves. Chipper Jones stays in after pinch hitting. He's going to play third. Craig Kimbrell will do the pitching. Also, Prado goes from third to left, and Constanza from left to right. Kimbrel, the major league save leader with 36 on the year, but again, this is not a save chance. And look at that, 34 hits in almost 58 innings.
Two superior pitches from Craig Kimbrel. A fastball that averages 96 miles per hour, a slider right around 86 miles per hour. This guy has what scouts call a very fast arm.
And a strike on Castro. Kimbrel, an all-star this year. Huntsville, Alabama native. Well, his last 25 consecutive appearances have been scoreless outings, covering almost 26 innings. He also leads the majors among relievers with 89 punchouts. Got to put him in that Rookie of the Year race. Very much so, in fact. He's one of the favorites. Swing and a miss on the slider at 89.
We saw Johnny Venters. Now we're getting a look at Craig Kimbrel. You can easily see why the Braves are 53-2 when they lead after 8 innings. Just a devastating righty-lefty combination at the end of a ball game.
Sure shows you how important it was to see the Cubs get the lead off O'Flaherty in the 7th. There's the Cubs closer. Came in and got his 27th last night. Paid crowd today 32,011. Been into it all weekend long. And a lot of Cub fans here. 6 consecutive strikeouts. The Braves pitching going back to the end of the 7th. And O'Flaherty struck out Soriano.
And like with any pitcher, Len, starter, reliever, closer makes no difference. If you can throw 2 or 3 different pitches out of the same delivery, the same arm slot, so deceiving for a hitter. Kimbrel's able to do that. His slider, his fastball right out of the same arm slot, same motion. Very tough to distinguish between those 2 pitches.
One and one to Ramirez. Got a piece of it. Backhanded by Jones. Little brief bobble. The stretch by Freeman. Ramirez is safe. And the inning continues.
We'll see how forgiving the local scorekeeper is. This should be an error on Chipper Jones. If he throws the ball right there on the first attempt, they probably get Ramirez at first base. But when he had to re-grip and fire across the diamond, Ramirez able just to beat it out. That has been ruled an infield single. They're very kind to Chipper here in the South.
Three hits for Ramirez, and the big hit today, the Pena 2-run homer off the lefty O'Flaherty in the 7th. Booming shot to right.
Seventh inning home run, his 5th of the year against a left-handed pitcher. Eric O'Flaherty hung him a breaking ball, and he did not miss it. Way back in right field.
Strikeouts for Kimbrel. That'll get us to the bottom of the ninth. Marmalon to try to get the save.
Have you met the new neighbors of late night? Liz Lemon.
I'm your worst nightmare is who I is.
Bender.
Only I didn't have so much crunk in my badunkadunk.
Frank.
Fantastic. Let's make some cash.
This is just getting silly.
Welcome to the neighborhood. That's what we call a block party. Late nights on WGN America.
0 calories. Maximum Pepsi taste.
Tommy. T-H-O.
Cece, glad you made it.
Ricky wins again.
Oh, what is this place?
Iowa. Only with maximum Pepsi taste and 0 calories.
Whoa.
I love it when he does that.
Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
What's up, Smart?
Oh, just booked a summer vacay.
Ooh, sounds pricey.
Nah, with the Hotels.com summer sale, you can find awesome deals for places nearby.
Interesting. Wow, I'm blown away.
You look great.
Hotels.com summer sale. Save up to 30% and get a free Kindle. Hotels.com. Be smart, book smart.
What do you think?
We'd have to get all new appliances.
We just go to the warehouse stores. Pick out everything you want. The sink's ringing. Hello?
You think those guys have everything you want?
Consider this your wake-up call. Only Sears has Kenmore in all 10 of the top 10 brands. The other guys don't even carry all top 3.
I hope you brought an umbrella.
Because it's raining cold, hard facts up in here.
Thinking about buying appliances somewhere else? Think again. Sears.
Phone retract.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. And by the Illinois Lottery. Play the Wheel of Fortune instant game from the Illinois Lottery for a chance at $250,000. Buckle up. Our Carlos Marmol is on. He's been busy lately, and he has gotten the job done. A good job last night. Came on, got the final 2 outs to notch save number 27. These one-run saves can sometimes be dicey because he does walk people. Constanza to start it. Eric Hinsky, left-handed hitter, will pinch hit. Then Bourne. So a bunch of lefties here to start the ninth. Dan Uggla's spot way down the line as Constanza takes a strike on a slider.
I don't think there's any question this is the key hitter of the inning right here. A guy with good speed, represents the tying run. Cubs playing very shallow across the infield.
Fly ball left field. Reed Johnson under it. That first out's a big one for Marmol. As always, here's Hinsky. Slider strike. And a ground ball picked up by Pena. The throw to Marmol. Plenty of time. Time now for our Budweiser play of the game. Carlos Pena with a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 7th off the lefty.
23rd homer of the year. He now has 65 runs driven in on the season.
Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Well, not only are the Braves down to their final chance, but Dan Uggla hitless today for the first time in a while. 33-game hitting streak on the line. After Bourne, it would be Prado, then McCann, then Uggla. Well, we're trying to avoid that sort of matchup. Way outside, 2-0. Well, and Bourne's about the last guy you'd want to get on base as a potential tying run. If he does, you can bet he's going to try to get to second.
Costanza was the biggest out to start this inning. Right now, Michael Bourne is the biggest out of the ball game. We just don't want this speed on the bases. Oof. The benefit of the doubt there on a backdoor slider. Looked like it never quite got back to the corner.
Bourne with 3 hits in this game. And a 2-1. Now 3-1. It's full 3-2. Cub fans on their feet.
Marmol got a couple of breaks in this sequence. Strike 1 was off the plate. Strike 2's way off the plate.
There's ball 4. Only the second walk in this game as Mike Quaddy's going to come out and talk it over with his entire infield. I think this is mainly a chat between the pitcher and the catcher and the manager, but everybody else listening in. And it might be about the runner at first, too.
I mean, really, just focus on the pitches you have to make to Martin Prado right here. You've got 2 outs in the inning. If Carlos Marmol executes his pitches, he should be able to retire Martin Prado. If you pay too much attention to Michael Bourne over there at first base, you may throw an errant pickoff attempt down the right field line. You may make a mistake to the hitter at the plate. Don't be overly concerned with Michael Bourne at first. Just make him stop and then deliver your pitch to home plate.
Bourne with 44 steals, including one today. That leads the majors. And he takes off. Here's a throw by Soto. Close but late.
A lot of contact out there at second base. Marmol with just too many things to do before he unloads that ball to second base. Darwin Barney tries to hang in there and nearly blocks second base. Tags Michael Bourne up in the face. However, his feet were on the bag.
Meantime, it's 2-0.
Take a deep breath, slow down a little bit. We've seen this happen to Marmol in the past. He gets so far ahead of himself looking for that third out of the inning. He rushes his pitches to home plate. Good to see him step off the back of the mound right there and gather himself a little bit.
Popped him up, shallow foul ground, and it's going to be caught by Ramirez right near the camera well next to the Cubs dugout, and the Cubs hang on. Cubs win 6-5 the final, and they take 2 of 3 in this series. We'll be back.
Are open and the reviews are in.
My chef, pan-seared my scallops right before my eyes.
It was fresh, it was tasty, it was hot.
It's all part of our endless dinner buffet for one incredibly low price. Only at Golden Corral.
Right now we have one coming up, so that's a good review.
Pizza Tracker lets you track your order at every stage on Domino's.com, and it lets you leave a review instantly.
Tracker gives accountability. It lets you know if Jess is making your pizza, I'm Jess, and I'm making your pizza.
So get our $5.99 deal and give us your review.
What if more people saw the reviews? If more people in the store, or... Whoa! Are you kidding me? That is insane.
Our reviews are up in Times Square, so order now and tell us how we did.
I think that raises the bar just a little bit higher.
Good news, men use soap. Bad news, men use soap that can really dry their skin. Fear not, Dove Men Plus Care is here. It's the bar with 1/4 moisturizing cream, so it cleans and leaves skin feeling moisturized. Dove Men Plus Care.
Hey, your kid's almost ready?
I've got breakfast waiting for you.
Uh-oh. What? Mom's doing her exercise video again. When Mom's on a health kick, all of us are. And now she's made us breakfast. Uh-oh.
Eggo Nutri-Grain Waffles. You know it's made with 8 grams of whole grain and is a good source of fiber. All they know is it tastes great. Eggo Nutri-Grain Waffles. Simply delicious.
Well, the Cubs come back and beat the Braves. 2 comebacks in this game. 6-5 the final. And our next WGN broadcast of Cubs baseball will be Tuesday night when the Cubs and the Astros play Game 2 of a 3-game series. We hit the air at 7 o'clock Central here on WGN. Final score today, Cubs 6, Braves 5. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Stay tuned. We'll have the 10th inning show from Atlanta next.
This is
Minnesota. Be right back.
Santa, my man.
Making a Pepsi.
Pepsi?
Yeah, Pepsi.
But Mr. Claus, I thought you had to deal with,
I'm on vacation. I want to have a little fun.
Summertime is Pepsi time. Naughty. Nice.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. Mark versus listening to his wife.
I was over at Jim and Nancy's today. Do you remember them? We had dinner with them a couple weeks ago over at Jill's house.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Daycare can be expensive. So to save some money, I found one that uses robots instead of real people. Because robots work for free.
Good morning. Female child.
Floss? Maybe.
There's an easier way to save. Get online. Go to geico.com. Get a quote. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
And so the conversation turned until the sun went down.
Leap, and a net will appear.
Who's a net?
No, a net to catch you.
Welcome to the 10th inning show. A couple of notes here for the Cubs. They have now won 4 consecutive series for the first time this season. They have also won 11 of their last 13 games, off to a very good start here in the month of August. And they have played the spoiler. They have shaved 2 games off the Braves' wild card lead. The Giants won today, so San Francisco 4 back in the wild card. They're closer to the Diamondbacks in the West. But the Braves certainly haven't clinched anything yet, and we'll see them for 4 games on the next homestand at Wrigley Field. We'll have more, including the highlights from this Cubs 6-5 win in a moment.
Barney, Jack, their love of suits is like no other.
Why are you wearing a tux?
It's after 6. What am I, a farmer?
And their ego suits them well, which is exactly why we're putting them back to back.
That's not a bad idea.
30 Rock alongside How I Met Your Mother. Weeknights, 8 East, 5 West. Starting September 19th on WGN America.
We're in the mood for amazing seafood tonight.
Pan-seared just for us. Anybody? You know, sizzling shrimp and scallops.
Perfectly seared tilapia, made to order. On an all-you-can-eat dinner buffet.
For around $10. Heads up.
Only Golden Corral would serve up endless made-to-order pan-seared seafood. It's incredible shrimp, tilapia, and scallops with your choice of amazing sauces. All on our endless dinner buffet, still for around $10.
$10? Bam!
Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness.
As your love has evolved, so have your gifts. From I like you, I really like you. I love you. I will always love you. And sometimes a gift says you mean more to me than anything else in the world. Life insurance from New York Life ensures your loved ones will always be taken care of. With 166 years of financial strength, it's the most selfless gift you can give. New York Life, the company you keep.
What do you think? We'd have to get all new appliances.
We just go to the warehouse stores. Pick out everything you want. The sink's ringing. Hello?
You think those guys have everything you want?
Consider this your wake-up call. Only Sears has Kenmore in all 10 of the top 10 brands. The other guys don't even carry all top 3.
I hope you brought an umbrella.
Because it's raining cold, hard facts up in here.
Thinking about buying appliances somewhere else? Think again. Sears.
Phone retract.
The 10th inning is brought to you by your neighborhood Culver's, home of the Butterburger and fresh frozen custard. Cubs off to a 10-3 start to the month of August. Didn't start well today, however. Dan Uggla with a sac fly as the Braves get an unearned run in the first inning for throwing error by Matt Garza. 1-0 Atlanta. They would add on in the second inning. Michael Bourne with an RBI single. His second of 3 hits on the day. And then Martin Prado followed that up with a base hit. Costanza in 3-0. It would be 4-0 Braves before the Cubs would begin their big comeback. Tyler Colvin with a 2-run single. That made it 4-3. And then Arodys Vizcaíno uncorking a wild pitch. That allowed Alfonso Soriano to score a 4-run inning to tie it at 4-apiece. 7th inning now. Cubs trailing once again by a run, but not anymore as Carlos Pena cranks a 2-run homer off Eric O'Flaherty. Bullpen would do the job the rest of the way. Bravo gets the win. Marmol the save. Cubs win in spite of 4 errors on the day. We'll have the Culver Sweet defensive play of the game, and there were a few coming up.
Say hello to the new Mango Pineapple Real Fruit Smoothies from McCafe. Bursting with fresh flavors and blended with creamy low-fat yogurt. The simple joy of exotic refreshment.
Right now, we have one coming up, so that's a good review.
Pizza Tracker lets you track your order at every stage on Domino's.com, and it lets you leave a review instantly. Tracker gives accountability. It lets you know if Jess is making your pizza, I'm Jess, and I'm making your pizza.
So get our $5.99 deal and give us your review.
What if more people saw the reviews? If more people in the store, or... Whoa! Are you kidding me? That is insane.
Our reviews are up in Times Square, so order now and tell us how we did.
I think that raises the bar just a little bit higher.
Hi, Mom. How was school today? Good. Thank you.
Phew. We make our cookies the way only Keebler Elves can, with a little something extra, so every bite can be uncommonly good.
Tuesday on WGN America. Dempster's on the hill and ready to deal. But Seeley is at the plate and ready to peel. Tuesday at 8 East on WGN America.
The 10th inning is brought to you by your neighborhood Culver's, home of the Butterburger and fresh frozen custard. Now our Culver's Sweet defensive play of the game, and there'll be a lot written and talked about in the what-if game for Dan Uggla. Best chance for a hit today. Tried to bloop one into shallow right, but it was Darwin Barney with a great extension as he makes the catch. And Bob, Dan Uggla's hitting streak is over at 33 games.
Well, it was really good while it lasted, but Darwin Barney, he's got a job to do too. Great running catch, able to keep the ball in the glove as he crashed to the ground.
It's not often you win when you commit 4 errors and give up 3 unearned runs, but the Cubs were able to out-hit their mistakes, and they actually did make some big defensive plays at different points in this game.
Yeah, very schizophrenic defensive game for the Cubs today. Some physical errors, some mental errors, but as you said, some highlight reel plays to go along with it. The big home run by Carlos Pena against a lefty. I think that can't be overstated.
On to Houston. The Cubs playing a team they're well ahead of for 5th place in the NL Central. You take this thing one day at a time, but it could be a really good trip if this team continues to play well.
No question about it, Len. And certainly you never take anybody for granted. The Astros are playing a lot of young players right now, but those guys can be dangerous at this time of year. They're trying to earn a spot on the roster for next year. So as long as the Cubs continue to pitch and catch and come up with the timely hits, you like their chances down in the Lone Star State.
We'll have games 2 and 3 of that series Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Central here on WGN. Dempster against Myers. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Cubs win.